Just before 3 o'clock Eastern time on a picture-perfect Wednesday afternoon in the city of Virginia Beach, Virginia. We greet you live on the RVA Sports Network for a college softball doubleheader special. Pitch one is strike one to Kirsten Roth, and we are underway. It is number one defending Division III national champion Virginia Wesleyan, coming in at 34-0 on the season, taking on, as Roth tries to bunt it, and it's fouled down the third base line. The count is 0-2. Taking on 30-2 Randolph-Macon, who this morning moved from number 6 to number 4 in the latest National Division III Top 25 softball poll. It has been the most anticipated meeting of the regular season in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. It means a lot. It means a number one seed likely in the tournament. Coming up a week from Thursday is Roth. We'll look at strike three called. And Hannah Hall, National Pitcher of the Year in 2017 as a freshman from Clover Hill High School in Chesterfield, having a fantastic sophomore season, gets the first strikeout of the afternoon. One away here, top of the first for the Yellow Jackets, and that brings up their pitcher, the junior left-handed hitter, Candace Whittemore. First pitch is high for ball one to Candace. Savannah Wood on deck, one out, nobody on, and we are just underway here on the campus of Virginia Wesleyan University. Next pitch will drop at the knees for strike one, and the count is 1-1 to Whittemore, the junior product out of course, Patrick Henry High School, just a few miles up the road from Randolph-Macon. Hall delivers. Slapper toward third. One hopper, the throw to first, and quickly there are two out here in the top of inning number one. Julia Sennett working at third base. Kirsten Richardson, the senior and former Glen Ellen Jaguar standout, is at shortstop this afternoon. That's the left side of the infield here in game one for number one, Virginia Wesleyan. Savannah Wood, the shortstop for Randolph-Macon, up now with two out, nobody on. First pitch will be high for ball one to Wood. Glad to have you with us here this afternoon on a special live college softball edition of the Game of the Week. Tapper down the first base line, and it's going to sail foul. That'll even the count at 1-1. Howland almost had a play on it. Would have been the third out of the inning, so break for Wood that it kind of dove to the right and went foul. She gets another shot here. Swing and a miss. She's down 1-2. Hannah Hall was a great pitcher at Clover Hill, but I think none of us dreamed what she would become once she arrived here on campus at Virginia Wesleyan a season ago. The 1-2 misses just high, and it's 2-2. Harley Jones is on deck should the inning continue. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down. Hall delivers. Swing and a miss. Wood goes down swinging. Middle of one. Very quick work for Hannah. And we're scoreless as the Marlins come to the plate. As we are in Virginia Beach this afternoon, there are a lot of things happening in sports back in the RVA. Mark Davis has broken the story on Twitter on the dismissal of former Henrico High School great DeMonte Buckingham from the University of Richmond basketball team due to what they are saying is a violation of athletic department policies. Mark just posted a story on that developing story, and we just retweeted it on the RVA Sportsnet on Twitter as well as on Henrico Sports. Today's doubleheader here live from Virginia Wesleyan can be heard several different ways. We have YouTube embedded players at the top of the page at both RVASportsNetwork.com and HanoverCountySports.net. And if you go to Randolph-Macon's website at RMCathletics.com, you'll see an audio link on the softball schedule for today, and that takes you straight here to our YouTube channel where we have not one but two for you today. First game underway, second game scheduled for 5 p.m., and we are here for the duration to see if the Marlins can stay unbeaten and number one, or to See if the Yellow Jackets can hand them their first loss of the year. Here's the leadoff hitter, bottom one. It's the shortstop we mentioned a moment ago, Kirsten Richardson, the product from Glen Allen High School. We have watched her grown up and play softball now for about 7 years, counting this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. First pitch from Whittemore right down the middle for strike one. Whittemore, a junior, Richardson, a senior. They saw each other on a few occasions when Glen Allen and Patrick Henry would collide in regular season softball action back in the middle of the decade. Here comes the 0-1. It's in the dirt, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Richardson. Candace toes the rubber, and she's set for the 1-1 pitch. Just misses the outside corner, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. In the first inning, you're kind of feeling out how the strike zone is going to be, what calls you're going to get, what calls you're not going to get, and how to adjust to them. And the hitters are doing the exact same thing. The 2-1, that's on the corner. We're even at 2-2. Richardson on a tear this season offensively in her final go-around as the Marlins look to go back-to-back national championships. The 2-2 in the dirt will go full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Arguably the best 2 pitchers in the ODAC here in the circle today between Hull of Virginia Wesleyan and Whittemore here for Randolph-Macon. 3-2 here. Foul, out of play down the first base line. Into the trees, just up against the fence. Dimensions here at Marlin Park, approximately 220 down each line into straightaway center field. 3-2, tails outside, and Richardson will draw the leadoff walk here this afternoon.
Number 20, Maddie Globke.
That's going to bring up Maddie Globke. And we'll see if we get the bunt sign from Coach Brandon Elliott. Working it at third base right now. Or first pitch ball. Richardson thought about going, didn't. Quickly up on her feet, Sammy Davidson, the catcher. Count is 1-0. Could sack bunt, could hit and run, could just go for the straight stolen base. Several options here for the veteran Kirsten Richardson at first base. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And Richardson's presence affecting what's happening at the plate quickly. Whittemore's down 2-0. The pitch, runner going. Davidson not able to get the ball out of her glove. And Richardson in easily with the stolen base and now in scoring position at second with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. So the count 2-1 as it was strike one on that pitch where Richardson flew down to second with the stolen base. Next pitch high and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. And the last thing you want to give the number 1 team in the country is a pair of walks to lead off the first inning. Give them a chance to do damage without having to do very much. 3-1 pitch. At the knees for strike 2, and we'll work full again at 3-2. She lost Richardson. She'll try not to lose Globke here. Howren is on deck. Pitch, ground ball towards short. Wood has it, throw to first, in time, 1 out. Richardson advances to third. Howren to the plate, and the Marlins have a runner 60 feet from home plate with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning of game 1. Cassidy, always a threat to go yard every single time. Senior from Dover, Delaware. Big part of the offense in their championship run for the Marlins a year ago. First pitch, roped into left center field, and just like that, it's 1-0 Virginia Wesleyan. Cassidy on her way to second. Throw coming back in. It's a stand-up double for Howren, and the Marlin faithful on their feet. 1-0 Virginia Wesleyan here in the bottom of the first inning. So a walk, a stolen base, ground out that advances the runner, and then first pitch, Cassidy just rocketed it into the gap in left center field for the double. That'll bring up Caitlin Biondo with 1 out and 1 in. First pitch right down the middle for Candace for strike 1. Beautiful ride down here this afternoon. Little or no issues traffic-wise. Got here just about 2 p.m. Plenty of time to set up and get us ready to go. Breeze is blowing here, close to the coast. 0-1 pitch, high, and the count at 1-1. Sun feels wonderful. Temperatures in the 60s, approaching 70. When that sun begins to get behind the trees behind us, though, for game 2 later today, it's going to be a different story. Tap foul back to the screen, and Biondo down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. With a run in, Richardson walks, steals second, advances to third on a ground out, and then comes home easily on the double by Howerwin, who is at second right now with 1 out in the bottom of the first. 1-2. Foul back to the Wesleyan dugout. She'll stay alive, will Caitlin, at 1-2. Taylor Sandiford at third this afternoon. We mentioned Wood at short, Maddie Stone at second, Harley Jones at first. The infield defensively for Randolph-Macon. Here comes the 1-2. Line towards third, caught by Sandiford on a rope. Beautiful play from the Atlee product. And there are 2 out, and Howerwin has to keep it at second base.
Number 25, Amy Large.
So with 2 down, that's going to bring up Amy Large, left-handed senior for Virginia Wesleyan. Hit could mean a run here. Certainly in the gap it would be. First pitch misses the corner for ball 1. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Virginia Wesleyan. Zeros across the board so far for Randolph-Macon. Hall with a pair of strikeouts, top of the first, 0-1. Make it 1-1. Was the 1-0 pitch. She evens it up with the strike on the corner at the knees. Whittemore ready, the 1-1 pitch. Foul back to the screen. And the count now at 1-2. Jessica Lindsay, the catcher today, and the former Manchester standout, on deck should the inning roll on. Large back to the batter's box. Whitmore ready, the 1-2. Misses low, 2-2. And again, the feeling out process of the strike zone in full effect right now. Whittemore works, delivers. 2-2 pitch is fouled, and it'll go out of play just to the left of our broadcast position, behind some of the Marlin faithful. And we'll stay even at 2-2 with Howerwin, the batter, at second. Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets nothing. Game 1 of 2 here this afternoon. 2-2 pitch misses low, and we'll go full, 3-2 to Large. Large holds on very tightly into the plate there in that batter's box right at the white line. The pitch, ground ball to Stone at second, easily picked up, throw to first, and the side's retired, but not before a run comes in for Virginia Wesleyan. Game 1, 1-0 Marlins. A quick moment to take an update to get our fans on Twitter at Hanover Sports, part of the RVA Sports Network, updated on what's happened here in game number 1. 1 inning old. And the Yellow Jackets back to the plate with the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up and facing the 1-0 deficit. Mentioned Hannah Hall with 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Just handed a note here that she is 1 strikeout away now for breaking the career strikeout mark in ODAC history. And she's only a sophomore. 583 is the mark. Her next strikeout will be 584. Her exploits remind us a lot of the exploits of the lady at Randolph-Macon by the name of Kelly Williams, who by the time her 4 years are done, and she's got 2 more left for Coach Carol LaHaye in women's basketball, she may
Harley Jones.
She may set some women's basketball records that won't be caught for decades. Harley Jones coming to the plate. Been the big source of power for Randolph-Macon this season. She'll start off the second against Hull. The first pitch is high for ball one. Davidson, the catcher, is on deck. Shelby Hill will bat third here in the second. That one's too high. Didn't get Jones to try to chase that one. 2-0 the count. Jones gets a last second sign. Hall ready, the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Pitch down the middle. Would have been a strike either way. 2-1 the count. Jones ready, Hall ready, delivers. Swing and a miss with high heat. 2-2. 1-0 Virginia Wesleyan. And the count now 2-2 on Jones. The pitch, pop, foul, back behind us, out of play. We'll stay even at 2-2. Head coach Kevin Proffitt coaching at third base, reminding her about the shoulder, that left shoulder, where to have it, how to use it. As it gets set for another 2-2 pitch from Hall. Here it comes. Miss on the swing, strike three. And Jones is retired. Hall has her third K of the afternoon, and she is now the all-time leading strikeout king in ODAC history. First pitch is strike one to Davidson. Hall gets, once she gets into a groove, she's very difficult to stop. Next pitch fouled back away behind the Macon faithful. And quickly it's 0-2 here with one out and nobody on. This is outside, so it'll be 1-2. Swing and a miss and make it 4 strikeouts and 585 on her career. And Davidson is retired. 2 away for Shelby Hill. Another local Richmond area product we've followed for quite some time. Began at Atlee. Tries to bunt her way on. Hall's there to get it. Throw to first is wide, but able to get it. The second baseman covering by crossing the line to grab it. And gets the out for the third out of the inning. Hill didn't give us enough time to mention her quick story. 2 years at Atlee, transferred, played 2 years at St. Margaret's, now a sophomore here with The 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weddle, the runner at first base. Pitch, popped it up. Shallow left field. Wood coming over from the shortstop position and makes the out. Nice catch, second out of the inning. And it'll be Weddle remaining at first base. So Weddle stays. It'll be Beth Ford, the left-handed hitter, into the batter's box with 2 out. Here in the bottom of the second, first pitch. Floater behind third, but foul. And the count will be 0-1 on Ford. Beth, of course, a former teammate of Candace Whittemore. They both played together at Patrick Henry and a part of that 2015 team that made it all the way to the state semifinals before falling on a Friday night in Northern Virginia to eventual champion Atlee. Next pitch is high. And the count's even at 1-1. 2 away, 1-0. And the Yellow Jackets trying to keep it that way. Next pitch looped into center field. Hill's going to go get it. Left side. Wynn picks it up a bit. And Shelby will make the catch for the third out of the inning. And the Marlins will leave 1 aboard here in the second. 2 completing game 1. Number 1, Virginia Wesleyan 1. And number 4, Randolph-Macon 0. And the Yellow Jackets looking to get their first base runner of the afternoon. As we go to the third, here live on the special college softball edition of the Game of the Week on the RBA Sports Network. We look out in the right center field area, fans here at Marlin Stadium, and that's where we see today's flag, and it is at half-staff, of course, due to the passing yesterday of former First Lady Barbara Bush, who died at the age of 92 after a long and distinguished public career that included a 73-year love affair with her husband, George, who was CIA director at one time, vice president, and of course, the 41st president of the United States, the mother of the 43rd president. Only 2 women in American history can say that they were married to and also were the mother of a president. One name is Adams, the other is Bush. And we send our condolences to President Bush and to the entire family on the loss of Barbara. First pitch for Sandiford is fisted, popped up, shallow left, and Richardson will make that play behind third base. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here, top 3 for Randolph-Macon, down 1-0 as Maddie Stone comes to the plate.
Number 2, Maddie Stone.
Maddie Stone, also a product of Glen Allen High School. Maddie is a sophomore. First pitch swing and a miss for strike 1. So Richardson, the shortstop for Virginia Wesleyan, a 2014 Glen Allen grad. Maddie, a sophomore on that team when Richardson was a senior. Next pitch, high, and we're even at 1-1 as Maddie pulls that bat back. And the count even 1-1 with 1 out and nobody on, top of the third. Hall kicks and fires. Fouled, out of play behind us. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Maddie Stone. With Casey Abernathy on deck. We watched her younger sister, Caitlin, and the number 1 ranked Prince George Royals stay unbeaten on the Game of the Week Monday down there with a 7-1 win over number 2, Lee Davis. Pop up, going to go out of play. Next here to the Macon fans, and a nice 1-hop stop by a Macon fan. And the count will remain at 1-2. Prince George won yesterday over Hopewell to move to 11-0 on the season. And again, they will be prohibitively favored the rest of their schedule. Last really big test for them at Dinwiddie, May 1st. 1-2 pitch, looking to bunt, foul. So the batter is out on the bunt attempt on strike 2. Stone retired.
Number 14, Casey Abernathy.
And with 2 down, that'll bring up Abernathy, the left-handed hitter, And the number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Yellow Jackets. First pitch, just tap foul for strike 1. One ball, no strikes. And Hall delivers. Swing and a miss. And make it 0-2. Casey asks for time, now steps into the box, and she's ready. Hall's ready. The 0-2 pitch. High. And the count's 1-2. Again, first of 2 this afternoon, fans. Usually when you play in the ODAC in the regular season, it's a doubleheader. And game 2 is scheduled to begin around 5 o'clock, depending upon how long this game 1 lasts. Swing and a miss. And a strikeout to Abernathy and another K for Hannah Hall. And we go middle of 3 here on the game of the week with our score. Again, number 1, Virginia Wesleyan 1, and number 4, Randolph-Macon, nothing. Yellow Jackets knew one of the biggest challenges coming in here today, making the trip down to the beach, was how to figure out a way to touch up Hannah Hall. Very few teams have been able to do that in 2018. Heck, they couldn't do it in 2017 either. She comes in with an 0.63 ERA. She began the day at 207 strikeouts. She's, by our count, I believe, up to either 212 or 213, as she has pitched over now just over 135 innings. Candace Whittemore has 114 strikeouts so far on the season, now 115 with the 1K back in the second. And with that second inning work, she has now worked 100.1, 103rd innings this season so far. We'll see the top of the order in the third here for Virginia Wesleyan. And that means the shortstop, Kirsten Richardson. Kirsten had the leadoff walk, stole second, advanced to third on a ground out, and then scored on the double by Howerwin for the game's only run so far. First pitch right down the pike, and Whittemore ahead 0-1. Bottom 3 here at Marlins Park. And number 1 up by 1-0. Candace kicks and fires. Fisted foul to the Macon bench. Assistant coach Amanda Sopko will grab it and flip it over to Harley Jones, who gets it back to Whittemore, and it'll be 0-2 on Richardson with nobody out. Leadoff hitter, bottom 3. The 0-2. Lined into right center field. Chasing, and making a great catch is Roth, the right fielder, coming over quickly to close the gap. Gets a high five from the center fielder, Shelby Hill, as they pass back into their positions. And there's one away here in the bottom of the third. Kirsten Roth with a fantastic play. Saw it as soon as it jumped off the bat, made the right call to head to the gap in right center. And there's one out. First pitch, a one-hopper to the plate to Maddie Glopke for ball 1. And if you're going to beat a number 1 team and hand them their first loss of the year, you got to play sterling defense. That pitch misses low, just below the knees, 2-0 the count. And Kirsten doing just that on what could have easily been a double into the right center field gap for Richardson. Now the 2-0. Foul down the right field line and drifting out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike to Maddie Glopke. Maddie's sophomore from here in the area at Ocean Lakes High School. Whittemore ready with the 2-1. Fly ball well hit left center field. Hill going to chase it underneath it, and she'll get it for the second out of the inning. So 2 out and nobody on.
Now that number 12, Cassidy Halloran.
And that's going to bring up Cassidy Howerwin, the senior from Dover, Delaware, who had the double to get Richardson home for the lone run back in inning 1. First pitch misses the outside corner for ball 1. It is a limited strike zone so far this afternoon here in game one. 1-0 pitch. That one's in there for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. But of course, Cassidy can make it 2-0 with 1 swing of the bat if you're not careful. Whitmore ready with the 1-1 pitch. That's low, 2-1. ODAC softball tournament next weekend in Salem, Virginia, at the big complex there. 2-1 delivery. Foul down the right field line and out of play, and we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ostensibly today, if Wesleyan wins this, they are the #1 seed in the tournament. If the teams split, they have the upper hand for the 1 seed. Next pitch high will go full to 3-2. If Randolph-Macon could produce a sweep here today, they would take over first place and have the tiebreaker. Down the stretch, this one's roped into right field. Roth turns around, looking, and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So 3 well-hit balls by the Marlins in the 3rd, but Roth twice and Hill once defensively handled the situation. We go to the 4th inning.
And additional discounts for active duty, military reserve, retired military, dependent families, and now law enforcement. It's easy at Sheehy Ford of Ashland, Route 1 just south of Ashland. Online at SheehyFordAshland.
And we come back to you here, top of the 4th inning, fans, having a little bit of audio dropout issues as the leadoff hitter Roth tries to bunt her way on, and the bunt sails in the air to Hall just outside the circle, and Hannah will make the catch for the 1st out of the inning. Top of the 4th, 1-0, Virginia Wesleyan with the lead. Some nice defense in the outfield there in the bottom of the 3rd for the Yellow Jackets. And now the 2nd time around of the order for Randolph-Macon. 1 out, nobody on for Candace Whittemore. Hall ready, and her first pitch lined right back to her. And Hannah catches it with kind of a dazed look on her face as if to say, "Get off me, ball." And quickly there are 2 out here in the 4th. 2 down, nobody on for Savannah Wood, and the Yellow Jackets not in desperation mode yet, but you look at the scoreboard, you see inning number 4. Outs are going to start becoming a premium soon as Davidson tried to bunt and misses for strike 1. We're working on what is some sort of a connectivity issue, fans. As soon as we completely figure it out, we've been able to come up with some runarounds around it. Hope we can fix it for good as Hull tried to nip the outside corner, didn't get it, and the count's 1-1. Harley Jones is on deck. Woods ready, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Hull is not quite as worried about what the strike zone is, that sort of thing, simply because of her fastball, her ability to blow it by you almost at will. 1-2. That rise ball will not fool Wood, and Wood will keep it even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out here quickly in the 4th. Pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Wood chased one that easily would have been low and away for ball 3. And that's another way that Hannah Hall gets into your head when you're there in the batter's box against her is she can throw a pitch like that to you, and you feel like you've got to try to hit it, got to try to get a ball in play, got to try to get a hit, got to try to get something going for your team. And instead, you go chase a bad pitch, and the inning is quickly done, and you have to go get your glove and head to the field. And that's exactly what the Yellow Jackets do, as Whittemore will get to the circle, and the Marlins will come up. Should be 4, 5, 6 hitters due up here in the bottom of inning number 4, and our score still Virginia Wesleyan 1, Randolph-Macon nothing. So even though the Yellow Jackets haven't been able to get anything going offensively, Whittemore and the defense behind her have done what's needed to be done. Just the one run in the first inning to certainly keep the game in reach. Now what you got to do is make sure the Marlins don't string together a big inning to cascade the rest of the momentum to their side. 1-0 live here at Marlins Park on the campus of Virginia Wesleyan University. And our congratulations to the institution for becoming a university. One of 2 in the ODAC in the midst of, or having completed that, Lynchburg College, soon to be known as the University of Lynchburg, as both add postgraduate programs to their offering. Whittemore ready, and the first pitch is a pop-up behind short. Wood going back to get it, and will do so. And that retires Biondo. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That'll bring up the senior outfielder, Amy Large, with 1 away and nobody on here in the 4th. Fast-moving game, as we are bottom 4 and have only been playing for 40 minutes. Candish ready, and first pitch misses for ball 1, bit outside. That as opposed to our Lee Davis Prince George game back on Monday night on the game of the week, 1 versus 2 in high school. Both pitchers taking their sweet time, and a lot of 3-2 counts in that game. Next pitch fisted, and Whittemore is going to be able to go outside the circle toward third and make the catch with Sandiford approaching for the second out of the inning. And so 2 out and nobody on for the catcher, Jessica Lindsay, the product from Manchester. And Whittemore getting a consecutive out streak going here, would like to keep it going, but Jessica also a threat to go deep at any time. That first pitch at the knees for strike 1 called. That Lee Davis Prince George game Monday night clocked in just a little bit over 2 hours, about 2:05. Next pitch, Lindsay chases a low one, and it's 0-2. Whittemore ahead of the count with 2 down here, bottom 4. Get back to the dugout and try to figure out a way to get some offense generated, get some base runners if you're Coach Profit and the Yellow Jackets. 0-2, tails away, ball 1, 1-2, the count. Picture perfect Wednesday afternoon here at Virginia Wesleyan. Bit of a breeze, but we've been used to that now in Virginia for about 6 weeks. Next pitch in the dirt. Count it 2-2. It's been a lot windier. Apparently it's going to pick up again tomorrow, but today it's a springtime breeze that we can all have no complaints about, and the temperature is wonderful. 2-2. Foul out of play behind the Yellow Jacket dugout. And we'll try it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful church building just about over the left field wall, and Chesapeake Bay Academy just over the right field wall. Pitch popped up, foul, and that will drift out of play just behind the Marlins grandstand to our left, and will remain at 2-2 to Jessica Lindsay. With Virginia Wesleyan up 1-0, bottom of the 4th with 2 out. Whittemore ready and delivers. Lazy pop-up, shortstop coming to get it. Wood makes the catch, and the side's retired for the 2nd consecutive inning. We'll go to the 5th. Score. Number 1, Virginia Wesleyan 1, and number 4, Randolph-Macon nothing. Back in a moment, live on the RVA Sports Network.
Sheehy Ford of Ashland, with the largest inventory of Fords in the Mid-Atlantic, says fall head over deals. Up to 40% off MSRP or 0% financing for up to 72 months. Sheehy is proud to present its Military Appreciation Program with savings and additional discounts for active duty, military reserve, retired military, dependent families, and now law enforcement. It's easy at Sheehy. Sheehy Ford of Ashland, Route 1 just south of Ashland. Online at SheehyFordAshland.com.
Wood and West Incorporated has been serving the Richmond and surrounding areas since 1923, offering the finest in home heating oil and propane gas. They also offer professional service and installation of standby generators, tankless water heaters, gas logs, and gas or oil furnaces. Call them today for all of your heating needs at 355-1721. That's 355-1721. Massey Wood and West.
We start the fifth inning, and it'll be the heart of the order, 4, 5, and 6 for Randolph-Macon as they try to get something going. But only down 1-0. Hall's first pitch high to Jones, who struck out her first time up this afternoon. And the count 1-0. Here in the fifth, Harley ready, Hannah ready. And the lefty deals. Swing and a miss. Nice inside tailing pitch to get her at the fists. 1 ball and 1 strike to Harley Jones. Sammy Davidson on deck. Next pitch, high and tight. Jones pulls away. The count at 2-1. Time called as Yellow Jacket head coach Kevin Proffitt wants a word with Harley. Davidson on deck. Shelby Hill also scheduled to bat in this fifth inning. This is a critical inning because if you don't get anything going here, suddenly you look and you begin to think, oh boy, 6 more outs. You know, our chances are dwindling against such a dominant pitcher like Hall. She'll get the inside corner on a pitch Jones held off of, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jones back into the batter's box, and Hall ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch. Got her. That one was right down the middle. Nothing fancy about it, and Harley did not pull the string, and will walk back to the Yellow Jacket dugout. And there's one away here in the top of the fifth inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Sammy Davidson. Sophomore out of Brook Point High School, Stafford County. First pitch at the knees for strike 1. As Lindsay pulled her body outside and then pulled that glove right down the middle. First pitch, foul, and that'll go out of play behind the Macon faithful. And quickly, the count is 0-2 on Davidson with Shelby Hill on deck for the Yellow Jackets. 1-0 Virginia Wesleyan here in game 1. Game 2 supposed to start approximately 5 p.m. Could be a little before, could be a little after, depending upon how this one wraps up. That one looped into right field, and it's going to be a base hit. Davidson able to get the end of the bat on the ball, gets over the second baseman's head, and we finally have a hit this afternoon for the Yellow Jackets. As Davidson gets on board, we'll see if we get a courtesy runner for the catcher. Looks like Cameron Steinruck will be doing that.
Please move your vehicle as you're in emergency. Thank you.
Cameron is a freshman also from Glen Allen High School. Glen Allen only opened back in 2010, and they've got 3 representatives in this game today. Maddie Stone, the second baseman. Cameron Steinruck, now the courtesy runner for Randolph-Macon, and Hill to bunt, and it goes foul for strike 1. And, of course, the shortstop senior leader for Virginia Wesleyan and Kirsten Richardson. The 1-0 popped in the air, bunt, it'll go foul. Hitting fair ground and then tilted back behind the line, and the count's going to be 0-2 on Hill, and that may take the bunt option off the table. Shelby's got some power as well. Hall ready, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got her. Steinruck gets back to first on a throw by Lindsay after strike 3. He'll retire, 2 down. And that'll bring up the third baseman, the sophomore from Atlee, Taylor Sandiford, with 2 out and a runner at first. The pitch misses low for ball 1. Hall not quite wondering why that was wasn't a strike, but that is how the strike zone has been called here this afternoon in game 1. Next pitch, foul down the right field line and out of play. And the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, Hall not quite as worried about how the strike zone is due to just her incredible ability with her fastball. Whittemore a little more interested in painting the zone. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Foul back to the screen on a check swing, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sandiford with 2 out. Steinruck, the tying run at first, 1-0 Virginia Wesleyan, top of the 5th. Here in game 1 from a sun-drenched Marlin Field at Virginia Beach. Hall is ready and delivers. Foul again on the rise ball, out of play behind us. And we'll do it again at 1-2. Maddie Stone, the second baseman, on deck should the inning continue for Randolph-Macon. Sandiford with a pause, now back in. Hull is ready. And here comes another 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Missed the corner, 2-2. Hannah was on her way back to the dugout thinking it was going to be strike 3 called. And it was not. So I will say this. No problems with the home plate umpire here in game 1. It's being called both ways. And Hull is now learning what Whittemore learned a few innings ago about trying to paint the zone. 2-2. Swing and a miss on the high heat, and Sandiford goes down swinging. Steinruck will stay stranded at first base. So they get a base runner on, but can't get her around, and we remain at Virginia Wesleyan 1 and Randolph-Macon nothing, middle of inning number 5. Again, game 2 is scheduled, fans, for about 5 o'clock this afternoon. We will stay live here on our YouTube channel between games with a musical interlude, and occasionally we'll come in with updates as to how long it'll be until we get started on game number 2. Our next game of the week broadcast back to high school sports next Friday night, April 27th. We'll be live at Lee Davis High School as it's another chapter in the storied rivalry between Lee Davis Confederates and the Atlee Raiders. Round 1 at Atlee a couple of weeks ago, right before spring break, went to Lee Davis in a 2-0 8-inning thriller. Atlee will want to go and return the favor at Lee Davis, and the Raiders have had great success on Lee Davis's home field the last 3 or 4 years. Our coverage that night begins at 7 Eastern on coming up on the 27th at Lee Davis. The 1-1 pitch. Looper towards right. Roth and Stone try to come in, and it'll be Roth who's able to do the slide into the grass to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Some nice defensive work in the outfield so far here this afternoon in the latter innings for Randolph-Macon. As the Marlins are making contact on Whittemore, but they just haven't been able to find the holes to get a rally going, find some insurance runs. First pitch, down the middle for strike 1 to Julia Sinnett, the third baseman. Oh, 1 the count, the pitch. That's in there at the letters for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Bottom 5, 1-0, Virginia Wesleyan. Pitch is a bit high, and it'll be 1-2. This is the kind of game that we frankly expected out of teams that come in with a combined record of 64-2. The 1-2. Rope down the right field line, but out of play, and we'll stay at 1-2. Virginia Wesleyan swept Christopher Newport last week in non-conference action. CNU was Randolph-Macon's opener down here back in February. They lost the first game. Next pitch low, 2-2 the count to Sinet. And then Randolph-Macon proceeded to win their next 20 in a row before their lone ODAC defeat. And then they're on another large winning streak now. Pitch, foul, well out of play, back towards some of the cars parked in front of the right field fence at baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Redo. Whittemore ready with 1 out. Fires. Rope foul down the left field line and out of play. Abernathy giving chase nicely, but it gets on the other side of the fence, and we'll do 2-2 one more time. Beth Ford, the Patrick Henry grad, is on deck with 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Marlins leading the Yellow Jackets 1-0. Another 2-2, another foul. This one into the Marlin dugout briefly and then bounces back out into the field. Sanderford will grab it, hand it to Candace, and we'll try again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Whittemore ready, fires. Foul again. This time out of play behind the Yellow Jacket fans. And again, 2-2. Sinet doing a great job making Whittemore work in this at-bat. Trying to get aboard with 1 out here in the 5th. Another 2-2. Fisted foul down the third base line. Man, Julia's done a great job of just staying alive in this at-bat. Whittemore about to throw pitch number 10 in this at-bat. 2-2 count, and here it comes. It's going to miss the corner. It was outside based on the strike zone we have this afternoon, even though Davidson tried to bring it back in to no avail, and we have a full count at 3-2. Great at-bat from Sinet. See if she can reward herself to get on base. Tap foul on what likely would have been ball 4 low. So Whittemore gets a break there. And pitch number 12 in this at-bat about to come up. Marlins set, ready, fires. That one got out of Whittemore's hands awkwardly and was stayed high. Ball 4. And what an at-bat. Julia Sinet on 12 pitches and 4 or 5 foul-offs earns the 1-out walk, and that'll bring up Beth Ford, the number 9 hitter, the left-handed hitter. The product and pride of Montpelier, Virginia. Fakes at a bunt, ball 1. She'll pull back and seeing Candace's pitch coming outside. You wonder how much Beth remembers Candace, how much Candace remembers Beth, but how much they've changed since they last played as teammates in Ashland. Showing bunt, slapped it right through Whittemore's legs into center field. And that's a base hit with 1 out for Beth Ford. Not a thing Candace could do about it, as it was a liner right between the legs and nobody there behind second to handle it. Ford with the single, so runners at first and second with 1 out here in the 5th. And this is exactly the situation the Marlins wanted and the Yellow Jackets sought to avoid. Bottom of the order hurts the Yellow Jackets, gets on board, and now it's Kirsten Richardson in the top of the realm for Virginia Wesleyan. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Marlins, it has seemed most of this game that they've been ahead. Just the feel of the game feels like they've been ahead 3-4-0. But we constantly have to remind Yellow Jacket fans that it's only 1-0. So just a little bit of an offensive outburst, and not only are you back in the game, you can have the lead. But this is the inning you've been dreading in the back of your mind if you're Kevin Proffitt and the coaching staff. And that being a situation where you don't want them to, in a fourth, fifth, sixth inning situation, grab 2 or 3 runs, and then suddenly, instead of trying to hit Hull for 1 or 2 runs to tie or take the lead, you got to get 4 more. And this is exactly the position the Marlins want to be in. 1 out, first and second. Richardson up. First pitch, misses low for ball 1. Richardson steps in. Whitmore ready. The pitch. Line towards short. It's caught, and that's going to be a double play. As the runner at second didn't realize and did not have time to get back towards second, Savannah Wood grabs the liner, steps on second, double play unassisted. Yellow Jackets dodge a big bullet, keep it at a 1-run game, and now they got to do something at the plate. Time beginning to run out here in game 1. Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets nothing. We go to the 6th here live in game 1 of this ODAC softball doubleheader special on the game of the week on the RBA Sports Network. Well, fans, coming up Friday morning, it's RBA locals only on ESPN Richmond. On the Black and Drew Sports Huddle, Bob Black, Andrew Wallace, and myself, we get together every Friday morning at 9:30, and we talk to coaches, players, and others in the high school and local sports community here in the Metro Richmond area. RBA Locals Only, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance on 99.5 and 102.7 ESPN. Also heard on the AM dial at 950. You can hear it online in the office at ESPNRichmond.com or listen on your phone on the new ESPN Richmond app. If you haven't downloaded that yet, make sure to do so at either Google Play or the Apple Store. We'll be live at Richmond Raceway Friday morning, getting set for the big NASCAR weekend. So join us for RBA Locals Only every Friday morning at 9:30 on the Black and Drew Sports Huddle, only on 99.5 and 102.7 ESPN, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. We go to the 6th. Rob Witham along with you live in Virginia Beach. First pitch from Hannah Hall, misses low for ball 1 to Maddie Stone, the second baseman for Randolph-Macon. Stone, Abernathy, top of the order, Roth here in the 6th. Next pitch outside corner for strike 1 for Hull. Again, we mentioned her minuscule 0.63 ERA in 134 innings coming into this game. Here comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss, and Stone down to the count 1-2. A 7-inning shutout here this afternoon would shave just a hair off of that ERA. Stone is ready. Hull is ready, and here's the 1-2. Foul down the first base line. That's going to go out of play on the roof of the Yellow Jacket dugout. Stone stays alive at 1-2. So we hit the top of the hour, 4 o'clock on this gorgeous, gorgeous Wednesday afternoon here, just inside the city limits of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Rob Witham with you live on the RVA Sports Network. Pitch, foul, out of play, here to the right, and we'll go again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter, Maddie Stone, second baseman, and the sophomore from Glen Allen. Pitch, fouled again, staying alive at 1-2. One and two, Stone desperately trying to get aboard to get a rally going here. Top of the 6th inning. Hull delivers. Misses low, 2-2. Stone doing a good job working Hull here on this first at-bat of the 6th inning. Trying by hook or by crook to find first base. The 2-2. Pop up, first baseman running up, and Howerwin will go and make the catch on the dead run. Nice play by Cassidy, 1 out. But a good at-bat from Stone. Just couldn't get on base. 1 away in the 6th for Abernathy. Or we may have a pinch hitter.
Pinch hitting for the Yellow Jackets. Number 18, Lauren Richardson.
Pinch hitter now. And it'll be the freshman catcher from North Stafford High School, Lauren Richardson, will hit for Casey Abernathy, the left fielder, here with 1 out in the 6th inning. First pitch is in there for strike 1 at the letters. Lauren's first at-bat against Hall collegiately. Next pitch, right at the waist and right on the corner. And quickly it's 0-2. And Richardson getting a quick schooling on life with Hannah Hull in the circle. The 0-2 missed just a bit high and tight. 1-2. Richardson thought about going, didn't. Stays alive at 1-2. Hull wastes no time. Ready to go, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Richardson's down swinging. And that'll bring up the top of the order and Kirsten Roth, but the Yellow Jackets down to 4 outs here on Hannah Hall. 2 out, top 6, nobody on, down just 1-0. The lone run back in the first inning on the Howard double that scored Richardson. First pitch to Roth is a strike at the knees. 0-1 the count. Roth, left-handed hitter. Hall ready to rock. The pitch, looking bunt, gets it down nicely. Third baseman covers, gets it, throw, beauty throw. What a great throw, just where it needed to be. Second baseman covering, and the 3rd out of the inning. A nice bunt, but a much better defensive play. And a great throw to first by a step. 5.5 complete this afternoon. Number 1 leads number 4 by 1. It is Virginia Wesleyan 1 and Randolph-Macon 0. As the Yellow Jackets return to the field, and they are just underway in Farmville. Single game this afternoon. Randolph-Macon and Hampden-Sydney. Teams played a very good game on a very chilly Tuesday back in late March in Ashland at the Hugh. With Randolph-Macon picking up the win that afternoon, Hampden-Sydney would love nothing more than to hand their arch rivals only their 4th defeat of the season. Macon coming into the game at 24-3-1. More importantly, only 1 loss in conference play and with a multiple game lead in the loss column. And trying to draw a game closer to the number 1 seed in the newly formatted ODAC baseball tournament, which will not take place this year until 2 weeks later than it has been traditionally on the calendar. Usually baseball, softball tournaments at the ODAC are the same weekend, but not anymore. Softball is next weekend in Salem. The following weekend is the first rounds of baseball, which will be hosted at the higher seeds. And then the 4 surviving teams will head down southwest and play May 10th, 11th, and 12th for the ODAC championship. Maddie Glopke will start inning 6 for the Marlins. First pitch, Whittemore high for ball 1. Candace knew it got away from her, smiles at her catcher, and turns back around and gets ready to try again. Candace very easygoing, very competitive, very fiery, but very easygoing in the circle. There's strike 1 for Candace. Called strike on Glopke. It is 1-1. Nobody out, bottom 6. Stone playing towards first. Missing low, 2-1. You get anything behind Whittemore, and it's going to go sailing into center or right center field without much of a problem. 2-1 count. Whittemore delivers. That's in there for strike 2, making a 2-2 count. Harrowin is on deck. Biondo coming up this inning as well. Strike 3 on the swing and the miss. And Glopke goes down. Whittemore gets a strikeout, and there's 1 out here in the 6th. So here is Cassidy Harrowin, who has the lone RBI of the afternoon on the double in the first that scored Kirsten Richardson with right now the game's only run. First pitch. Strike 1 right down the pike. Whittemore ahead 0-1. 2, 3, 4 hitters will due up in the 7th for the Yellow Jackets. Next pitch, nice. Almost same position as the first, and 0-2 on Harriman. She could make it 2-0 with one swing. Next pitch low, couldn't get her to chase. 1-2 the count. Wind beginning to pick up just a little bit here, blowing in toward us, so it's coming from the outfield, mostly from right field. Next pitch, tried to get her at the knees, misses low. 2-2 to Cassidy. Whittemore ready. 2-2 pitch. Missed outside. Now we're full. She had it 0-2. Now it's 3-2. You don't want to get a base runner on with 2 out and let anything begin to fester, or 1 out. That's how they got the 1 run in the first inning on the leadoff walk. Pitch foul back to the screen. That would have been strike 3. So good job by Harriman to keep herself alive here at 3-2. Richardson walked, stole second, went to third on a ground out, and then came home on the Harriman double. 3-2 again. Grounder past Whittemore to the shortstop. Wood fires to Jones for the 2nd out of the inning.
Number 4, Caitlin Biondo.
So 2 down here, nobody on in the bottom of the 6th. And that'll bring up Caitlin Biondo. Right-handed hitter, Biondo in, ready. Whittemore kicks and fires. Fly ball, left field, going back, Abernathy, going back, and she misses it. It goes off of her glove, gets to the warning track. They'll get it in toward third, and Biondo will be in to second base. And it'll be interesting to see what the official call is here. Abernathy misjudged the play to begin with, and at the last minute had to get on her high horse to get toward the fence, and she had it in her glove, but it came out. Had she jumped on the ball immediately, I believe it would have been the 3rd out of the inning. So I believe that one is called reach on an error. First pitch outside corner, strike 1 to Amy Large, and now a runner in scoring position, but 2 out. Whittemore in the defense just need to focus on getting out the batter and getting back in down just 1 going into the 7th. 0-1. Foul back behind us and out of play. And the count quickly 0-2 on Large. Should she get on, Jessica Lindsay is a power threat and on deck for the Marlins. 0-2. Runner at second, Biondo. Pitch. Ground ball towards Stone. Picks it up cleanly. The throw is good. 3rd out of the inning. We're through 6 this afternoon on the game of the week in game 1. Your score, Virginia Wesleyan 1, Randolph-Macon. Yellow Jackets have the 2, 3, 4 hitters next on the RVA Sports Network.
Sheehy Ford of Ashland, with the largest inventory of Fords in the Mid-Atlantic, says fall head-over deals. Up to 40% off MSRP or 0% financing for up to 72 months. Sheehy is proud to present its Military Appreciation Program with savings and additional discounts for active duty, military reserve, retired military, dependent families, and now law enforcement. It's easy at Sheehy Ford of Ashland, Route 1 just south of Ashland. Online at SheehyFordAshland.com.
So we throw it back here to Virginia Beach. Rob Witham along with you live. Game 1 of 2 here this afternoon. Virginia Wesleyan, defending Division III national champions, went through the Ashland Regional on their way to the national title last year. Randolph-Macon started the season 0-1, then rolled off 20 in a row. They're currently 30-2 with just 1 loss in ODAC play. In second place in the conference, their shot to get first place was to sweep Virginia Wesleyan today. But they're 3 outs away from a 1-0 defeat here in game number 1, as it will be the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up. It'll be Whittemore, Wood, and Jones. So it's the hitters you want up. Veteran, they have power. There's some speed involved. There are several options offensively, depending upon the situation. But the first thing you have to do is you got to hit off of Hannah Hall. And that's not easy. The Clover Hill product is ready, and the first pitch. Whitmore shows bunt, pulls back, and it's strike one. Hull ahead in the count 0-1. Top 7, 1-0. Number 1 leads number 4. We do not know historically if this is the highest ranked game in regular season ODAC softball history, as Whitmore tears one down the first base line, foul. And the count is 0-2. But it is among one of the highest games in the history of the conference in the sport of softball, and could be one of the higher games in the history of the conference, no matter the sport, when we're talking about national rankings at the time where the two teams met. Whittemore almost got that one down the first base line for extra bases. Down 0-2, Hall delivers. Foul, out of play, and will stay at 0-2 as kids are getting out of their 3 o'clock classes and 4 o'clock classes, maybe skipping out of that 4 o'clock class at 4:13. We've got a nice crowd around us here this afternoon for both teams. Hall ready for another 0-2 pitch. He's set up outside, missing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They were hoping Candace would chase, and she did not. Whittemore Jr. from Patrick Henry High School. Just going to call for time. Got a little shoe issue. Got to make sure the laces are good. Again, a lot of Richmond area softball talent represented on both of these teams. One of the reasons why it was so much fun to follow both of them through the tournament last year into the NCAAs, against each other at the Ashland Regional, and eventually the Marlins down to Texas in the title. Foul back to the screen as Whittemore gets a piece of the high heat, and we stay at 1-2. Starting lineup for Virginia Wesleyan features kids from Manchester, Glen Allen, Clover Hill, Patrick Henry. Again, a 1-2. Swing and a miss. It's a foul tip into the catcher's mitt for Lindsay, and Whittemore's retired for the first out of the inning. Well, another good at-bat, a good battle, but Hall wins the war, and it's 1 out here in the 7th inning. 1-0. Virginia Wesleyan trying to close out win number 35 without a defeat this year here in Game 1. First pitch to Savannah Wood is right down the pike for strike 1. Nothing fancy about that. The count's 0-1. 0-1 pitch. That one missed low and away, and we're even at 1-1 as Wood showed bunt briefly. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Top 7, Macon down by 1. The pitch popped it up, foul, and out of play behind us. And now Wood behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes with Harley Jones on deck. Good news is right here, the Yellow Jackets have 2, 1 here and 1 on deck, who could tie the game with 1 swing. But you also don't want to look to try to do that either. Roped foul behind the Macon fans, out of play. Still 1-2 as Wood went chasing after 1 low and away. But when you get, Hull has 2 strikes on you, you're trying to protect in any way, shape, or form to keep the at-bat alive. The 1-2. Fly ball. Shallow center field. Ford coming on. Richardson going to get it, and neither one of them do. Throw into second is dropped, and the tying run is at second base. Savannah Wood goes into second. That was a ball that was really hard to determine if Richardson was going to be able to grab it going out from short or Ford coming in from center, and in the end, they kind of hurt each other. And it drops, and now Harley Jones has an opportunity to tie this game with a base hit if they can get Wood in around from second base. 1 out, Wood at second, Jones the batter in a 1-0 game. First pitch is strike 1 called at the letters. I believe was the count earlier. And then Wood's able to get one into no man's land. Next tall pitch is going to miss below the knees, and we're even here at 1-1 to Harley Jones. Sammy Davidson is on deck, and Wood, the tying run, is at second base. The pitch roped into center field deep. Ford going, can't get it, goes to the wall. Woods in. We're tied. Harley Jones with a double. And it's a brand new ball game in Virginia Beach. Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets 1. Jones got a hold of that one. It was in her wheelhouse. Not enough for the home run, but plenty to get over the head of the center fielder, Ford, who had to go all the way to the fence to chase it and get it back in. Sarah Simmering will come in to run for Harley Jones, giving the Yellow Jackets some speed on the base paths, as now the go-ahead run is at second. And Davidson at the plate with one out here in the 7th inning. Hall is ready. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike one to Davidson. And this is why we talked about in the middle innings how the Yellow Jackets desperately did not want a 1-0 lead to turn into a 3 or 4-0 lead. Remember that double play, the line out, tag out double play by Wood at short. Next pitch, rise ball high. We're even at 1-1. That was a huge defensive play. A couple of big plays in the outfield. And even though Abernathy had a problem late, that one didn't hurt him. We're tied at 1 here in the 7th. Foul out of play, back behind the Macon faithful. And Davidson down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shelby Hill is on deck. 1 out here in the top of the 7th, and it's a 1-1 game. Hull's ready, the pitch, outside, 2-2. Good job there by Davidson not to chase. Sarah Simmering running for Jones at second. Hull is ready, the 2-2 pitch. Misses high, we go full at 3-2. And a little bit of adversity for Hannah Hull, something she hasn't seen much of this year, and an opportunity to test her mettle. And I'm sure Coach Elliott has no problem with that. Just want to make sure he gets out of it. And they have a chance to walk it off bottom of the 7th. 3-2. Foul out of play. Davidson alive in this at bat. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Simmering at second. Wood is in. Wood bloops one in that the center fielder, the shortstop, couldn't get to. Got to second in time. Throw there was dropped. Pitch fouled away again. Davidson still alive at 3-2. And then Jones just launched one to the center field wall for the double to score Wood to tie it at 1-1. Davidson staying alive here. Another 3-2 pitch coming from Hannah Hull. It's low, ball 4. And Hull is incensed, thinking that was strike 3 at the knees. But I can tell her, that has not been called this entire afternoon. Whittemore hasn't had it. Hull didn't get it. And Shelby Hill is at the plate with 1 out. And Yellow Jackets now at first and second in a 1-1 tie. And this is a moment where Hull just needs to settle down. Lindsay, her catcher, get her back in focus. First pitch to Hill, in there for strike 1. That's how you respond. 0-1. Double play would end the inning, but it would be tied at 1. Next pitch, Hill foul, back behind home plate, off the top of the screen, and quickly Shelby down 0-2 with 1 out. Hull trying to channel her anger here into some higher than usual philosophy fastballs. Shelby better be ready. Next pitch, fouled off, and that's how you do it. You stay alive at this point with 2 strikes. Foul a few off. Try to wait until you can find one that's in your wheelhouse that you can hit. Hill back in at 0-2. Runners at first and second. 1 out. The pitch misses outside. 1-2. Hull not happy about that one. Reacts with smiles, but we know what the inner message is. And she's, again, learning what Candace learned in the first 2 innings of the game. 1-2. Fister towards second base. It's an infield fly rule, so the batter is out, and it'll be 2 down. Hill retired. And Taylor Sandiford, the third baseman, coming to the plate with the go-ahead run at second and an insurance run at first. 2 out, 1-1. Number 1 and number 4 battling here in game 1. First pitch right down the middle for strike one. Sandiford, sophomore from Atlee High School. Big opportunity for her right here. One in the gapper could mean the lead for the Yellow Jackets. Pfister foul out of play behind the Yellow Jacket fans down the right side here, but beside us. And it's 0-2. If there's one thing Hall continues to master, that is getting ahead in the count. She got 0-2 quickly on Hill, and now 0-2 quickly on Sandiford, trying to get the Yellow Jackets to strand two here and limit it to just one run. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out, 1-1 tie. Yellow Jackets tie it in the 7th. We're ready. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Sandiford goes down, slams the bat hard into the dirt. Frustration there. Hall gets out of it, but not before the Yellow Jackets tie it. It is 1-1 going to the bottom of the 7th inning. And so an opportunity for Virginia Wesleyan to walk it off in game number 1. So the Harley Jones double. And we're tied 1-1, middle of the 7th. We take a quick moment to send out a quick tweet to let our fans know to join us for what should be a fantastic ending. And this is just game 1. We've got another one to come. Double header action here live on the game of the week. Here live on the RVA Sports Network. So glad you're with us this afternoon, fans. 1 down and 1 to go. Will this one go extra innings? Can the Marlins bookend the box score, get 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 7th, and take it 2-1? Will we go extra innings? Is the Marlins' 34-game win streak in jeopardy? All the questions about to be answered. We're going to get a pinch hitter to begin the bottom of the 7th inning, the freshman from Deep Creek High School here in Chesapeake, just a few miles away. Deja Burgee will pinch hit for Jessica Lindsay. So I am curious and anxious to see Deja here at bat, because I've seen Jessica Lindsay enough through her time at Manchester to know that she could kiss it goodbye with one swing and end this game. What does Burgee bring to the table? First pitch. Looper towards short, running to get it as Wood, and does for the first out of the inning. And another defensive play to help the cause for Randolph-Macon. 1 pitch, 1 away here in the 7th. Now Maria Weddle coming in, and she's had success on Whittemore this afternoon. Not necessarily hit success, but at-bat success. First pitch. Strike at the knees. The count 0-1. Whittemore really easy going out there right now. She seems to have a ton of confidence. She's working on her 6th shutout inning since that 1 run in the 1st. Next pitch high, 1 ball and 1 strike. And, you know, if you can't have fun in a game like this, why do you play softball? This is what you live for, a game such as this one. The 1-1 pitch. Fly ball down the left field line, calling for it. The left fielder with the catch. It's Abernathy for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 down and nobody on in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Julia Sinnett. She'll try to keep something going or win it with a walk-off here. Otherwise, we go extra innings in game 1. First pitch misses low for ball 1. Wood gets aboard on the looper that wasn't handled by either Richardson going out from short and Ford coming in from center. She was very aggressive and got to second. Next pitch, long fly ball, deep left field. Abernathy near the warning track will make the catch for the third out of the inning. And we're going extras in Virginia Beach, just as it should be, between 34-0 and 30-2. Number 1 and number 4, game 1 to the 8th. It's Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets 1. We'll take a very quick timeout. Be back in just a moment. Game of the week, game 1 of the doubleheader, rolls on next on the RBA Sports Network.
Sheehy Ford of Ashland, with the largest inventory of Fords in the Mid-Atlantic, says fall head-over deals. Up to 40% off MSRP or 0% financing for up to 72 months. Sheehy is proud to present its Military Appreciation Program with savings and additional discounts for active duty, military reserve, retired military, dependent families, and now law enforcement. It's easy at Sheehy. Sheehy Ford of Ashland, Route 1 just south of Ashland. Online at SheehyFordAshland.com.
Massey Wood & West Incorporated has been serving the Richmond and surrounding areas since 1923, offering the finest in home heating oil and propane gas. They also offer professional service and installation of standby generators, tankless water heaters, gas logs, and gas or oil furnaces. Call them today for all of your heating needs at 355-1721. That's 355-1721. Massey Wood & West.
Leadoff hitter is Maddie Stone, and quickly on the bunt attempts, she is down 0-2 as we start the top of the 8th inning with the batter who ended the 7th inning, Sandiford, the runner at second. International rules apply here in ODAC Division III college softball. So Sandiford at second, nobody out, 0-2 the count. Stone looking to bunt again, puts it up in the air, trying for the catch. And no, it's a foul ball, and the batter will be out nonetheless. And so Stone is retired for the first out of the inning, and we're going to get a pinch hitter for Randolph-Macon. And it'll be the junior right-handed hitter, Brittany LaPrade.
For Randolph-Macon, number 25, Brittany LaPrade.
Brittany getting the call and getting the signal from Coach Profit. Sandiford, the runner at second. Each team will get a runner at second to start their half of the 8th inning. First pitch tapped here to the screen. 0-1 the count. This is a situation where you have such a huge advantage with a power pitcher like Hannah Hall. Able to work and get ahead of the count and then blow it right by you. And not allow any opportunity for that runner to advance. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 to LaPrade just like that. Randolph-Macon ties it in the 7th with a run, and we're in the 8th, 1-1 in game 1. Pitch, Tapper gets to Hall. She'll make the play at first. It'll send Sandiford to third, but there will be 2 out. So Kirsten Roth, the top of the order, comes up, and she's going to have to get a base hit to get Sandiford home to take the lead. Whittemore on deck, yelling at Kirsten, saying, relax. You've got this. First pitch. Foul back to the screen. And the count 0-1. On Roth. Sandiford at third. She started the inning at second by international rule. The 0-1. Misses. Count 1-1. Candace Whittemore waiting on deck, hoping to get a shot here in the 8th inning. Roth is ready. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the Yellow Jackets down to their final strike here in the 8th, trying to get Sandiford in for a run. The Marlins will begin their home half of the 8th inning with a runner at second as well. Roth is ready. Hall delivers. Fouled, out of play, behind us. Kirsten stays alive at 1-2. Needless to say, game 1 likely will begin after 5 p.m. this afternoon. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and Roth goes down. Hall does the job and does it well. That's why she's defending National Pitcher of the Year. So the Marlins will put a runner on second base, and they'll have a chance to walk off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The score, Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets 1 in game 1 of this huge Old Dominion Athletic Conference softball doubleheader. Fans will be with you. We'll have some music interlude in between games. So if you tune in and you hear some music, we'll be back with you from time to time with quick updates on approximate beginning of game 2. Should be a little bit after 5 o'clock here from the campus of Virginia Wesleyan University. Just inside the limits of the city of Virginia Beach. You pass Norfolk Academy, you go right past near Lake Taylor High School to get here to the sports complex at Virginia Wesleyan. So Sinnette will report to second base. It'll be Beth Ford, who singled right through the legs of her former teammate in high school, Candace Whittemore, her last time at bat.
Number 9, Beth Ford.
And so Beth with an opportunity to be the hero here quickly in the 8th as the Marlins look to try to walk it off with a 2-1 win after the Yellow Jackets had their shot top of the 8th. They got Sandiford to third, but that's all they could do. Whittemore ready, the first pitch, showing bunt. Bunt in the air. 1 hopper to Jones, throw to Stone covering. 1 out. But the job is done. Sinnette is at third, and Kirsten Richardson has a chance to win it for the Marlins. The senior shortstop, the heart and soul of the class of 2018. And head coach Kevin Proffitt of Randolph-Macon wants to take a timeout and go out to the circle and talk to the infield about this situation. Very simple. You have got to play exceptional defense. No errors here. Error means ball game. But if Richardson slams one where somebody isn't and the game ends, then that's just hitter beats pitcher, and there's not a thing you can do about that. Whittemore is not overpowering like Hall. She doesn't have as many strikeouts as Hall. But she's got to find a way to induce a pop-up. Try to get a ground ball maybe right back to her. Hold the runner at third. Infielders, especially Sandiford and Wood on the left side, got to remember to take a look at Sinnette before any throw. Stone, the second baseman, has to be cognizant of maybe having to throw toward home. So should she see Sinnette break toward home, and maybe they could get a rundown. Infield will play up, and if Richardson slams one, we're done. Here we go. First pitch outside, ball 1. One-0 pitch. Misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The Glen Allen 2014 graduate, set to graduate with a degree in criminal justice in just a few weeks here at Virginia Wesleyan. The 2-0. Got the outside corner for strike 1. Whittemore down in the count 2-1 with Richardson, with Sinnette representing the winning run at third in a 1-1 tie, bottom of the 8th. The pitch, high, 3-1. Now, first base is open, so a walk isn't the biggest deal in the world in this particular situation. Problem is you'd have to try to pull a double play before the run scores to end the inning. That's not easy to do. 3-1. Misses. And Kirsten will be aboard. Runners at the corners, but the only runner that matters is Sinnette at third. Glaubke to come to the plate. Maddie with a chance to get the victory for number 1. Glaubke trying to make it 35-0 for the Marlins here in 2018. Game 2 coming up about 20 to 30 minutes after Game 1 here live on the RVA Sports Network. Whittemore ready. The pitch. Outside corner for strike 1. This would be a huge position for Whittemore to get a strikeout. Then you'd have to deal with the big power of Cassidy Harrowan with 2 out. Next pitch misses outside for ball 1. That one frustrates Candace a little bit. She thought she got the corner again. She'll go back, take a deep breath, lick the hand, grab the ball, hit the rubber, and Whitmore's ready. Candace with the 1-1. That's in there for strike 2. Glaubke down on the count, 1-2. 1 out, runners at the corners, but the one that matters is Sinet at third. She comes in, the game is over. 8th inning, 1-1 tie. In game 1 of doubleheader action. The pitch, low. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Drops in there, but does not get strike 3 called. That was a pretty pitch by Whittemore. But she will not get the call. It's 3-2 to Glaubke. First and third. Sinet's all that matters at third. The 3-2. Ball 4. Bases are loaded, and Candace, I think, is thinking about that pitch from a moment ago. It really fans to me, based on the strike zone we've had today, looked like it could have been strike 3 called.
Cassidy Harrowan.
Harrowan to the plate with the bases loaded. All the Marlins need is 1. Home plate umpire, someone said something out of the Macon dugout, and the dugout gets a warning from the home plate umpire. Macon fans not happy with the home plate umpire. First pitch low for ball 1. Now, Whitmore, there's nowhere to put Harrowan. Can't walk her. You got to get the ball in play or strike her out, one of the two, and hope you get the ball in play. Plays at home on the force. Next pitch, that's one at the corner for strike 1. And the count is 1-1. I believe the umpire has been equal both ways the entire afternoon. The only time I've ever thought anything question-wise was that off-speed pitch in the last about a moment ago. The 1-1, low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Bases loaded, so nowhere to put Harrowan. Got to give her a pitch to hit at some point and hope your defense comes up. Can Cassidy get it and make it 35 for the Marlins? Fouled back, even at 2-2. Now can Whitmore somehow get her to strike out, have a second out of the inning, then it's play at any base, and your options become much bigger. The 2-2 pitch, foul back to the screen. Off the bottom half of Harrowan's bat, and we're still at 2-2. What great action here in game 1 of this doubleheader. 1-1 tie, bottom of the 8th. 2-2 again. Misses low, 3-2. A walk wins it for the Marlins. So it's got to be a pitch into Harrowan's wheelhouse. And what could Cassidy do to it? Who wins the battle? We find out now. The 3-2 pitch. Line to third. Throws Sandiford to home for the force. To first. Safe. So no double play. But Sandiford is able to handle the one hopper. Throw it home. Davidson handles the force. And with 2 out in the bases loaded, it's Caitlin Biondo to the plate. But now the plays at any base. Can the Yellow Jackets get out of a bases loaded jam and take it to the 9th inning? High drama here at Marlins Park. Whittemore ready. First pitch. Line to the left center field for a base hit. And the winning run is scored by Richardson. Richardson scores the first run. Richardson scores the last run. Biondo, the hero, with the walk-off single. And your final score in 8 innings in game 1, number 1 Virginia Wesleyan 2 and number 4 Randolph-Macon 1 in an absolute thriller. Marlins get 1 in the first. Whittemore does a fantastic job calming things down. Couple of big opportunities for Virginia Wesleyan to break that game 1 open. Couldn't do it. Great double play moved by Wood at short back in the 5th inning. And then the Yellow Jackets find a way to tie it in the 7th. Looked like they had a shot in the 8th inning. Even though the bases were loaded, they get the ground out to force the play at home from Howerwin. But then Biondo, who had not had a great day at the plate, comes in and has a hit at the best possible time over the shortstop, Savannah Wood's head into left center field, easily scoring Richardson, who scores both runs in this game. And number 1 Virginia Wesleyan goes to 35-0. Randolph-Macon drops to 30-3. And our final in game 1 is number 1 Virginia Wesleyan 2 and number 4 Randolph-Macon 1. Now, what this means in the ODAC standings, fans, is that now the Marlins have a 2-game lead over the Yellow Jackets in the battle between first and second. So even if the Yellow Jackets come back and can take game 2 here this evening, which is going to start approximately 5:15, first pitch 31 minutes from now, the best the Yellow Jackets could do is leave the way they came, and that would be 1 game behind in the loss column. But with no opportunity to catch up, somebody would have to trip up the Marlins a couple of times here in the final weekend of the regular season for the Yellow Jackets to have any hope at the 1 seed. Right now, it looks like they're going to be trying to look to just hold on and hang on to that number 2 seed. And during our intermission here in a moment, when we get an opportunity, we're going to do a little bit of studying up on standings and whatnot and give you information as to how this game 1 situation will affect standings, how the Yellow Jackets really approach game number 2 in light of game number 1, knowing that they've still got 4 more conference games coming up this weekend, 2 on the road Saturday, and then a makeup doubleheader Sunday against Guilford before they get set for the ODAC tournament next weekend in Salem. What a game 1. And we've still got another game to come here on this doubleheader special of the Game of the Week on the RVA Sports Network. Virginia Wesleyan. Biondo is the hero with the walk-off single with 2 out, bottom of the 8th, to bring home Kirsten Richardson, who scored both Marlin runs in the 2-1 victory. But again, fans, we're halfway home. Game of the Week doesn't end with 1 tonight. We've got another one coming up in just a little while, about 30 minutes from right now. We'll take a quick break, let you know that today's special edition of the Game of the Week is an exclusive presentation of the RVA Sports Network in conjunction with Randolph-Macon College and Virginia Wesleyan University and the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, and is only intended for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of today's live Game of the Week broadcast without the express written consent of HCS Media LLC is strictly prohibited. First pitch again, 5:15 for game number 2. We are staying live. We'll have some music for you to enjoy. We'll stop in about every 5 to 7 minutes to give you updates on how things are going. We'll also try to get an update from Farmville on Randolph-Macon and Hampden-Sydney baseball. Game 1 to the Marlins, 2-1-8. We're back with game 2 at 5:15 on the RVA Sports Network. Hi there, Rob Witham here, back with you. Game 1 to Virginia Wesleyan, 2-1 in 8 innings, which means Game 2 starting a little later than scheduled. 5:15 is our approximate first pitch time. That's about 22 minutes from now. So stay with us here on our YouTube channel. First pitch in 22 minutes, the Yellow Jackets and Marlins in game number 2. Randolph-Macon baseball update. Hampden-Sydney leading 1-0 as they come to bat. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Tigers lead the Yellow Jackets in Farmville. hello there, fans. Our interlude continues. We're a little over 10 minutes away from first pitch between the Marlins and the Yellow Jackets in Game 2 here, live from Marlins Park in Virginia Beach. Number 1 defeats number 4, 2-1, and an 8-inning thriller in Game 1. So the Marlins now 35-0. And still unbeaten, obviously, in ODAC play. The Yellow Jackets fall for just the second time in ODAC play and are 30-3 overall. Game 2 again, about 10 minutes away, maybe a little bit less, as they get ready to line the field, and we'll have action for you here. Game 2 of our doubleheader on this very special edition of the Game of the Week, college softball. Virginia Wesleyan, Randolph-Macon rolls on here just a few minutes from now. Stay with us here on the RVA Sports Network. The following is an exclusive live sports presentation of the RVA Sports Network. Fans, so glad you're with us here live from Virginia Beach on this gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. It's time for Game 2 of the ODAC softball doubleheader showdown between number 1 unbeaten Virginia Wesleyan and number 4 Randolph-Macon. And by me using the term unbeaten, I give away Game 1's results in case you weren't with us earlier. A walk-off single from Caitlin Biondo in the bottom of the 8th inning gives Virginia Wesleyan the 2-1 win over the Yellow Jackets in Game 1. Kirsten Roth comes out. She's ready to rock and roll in Game 2. And the first pitch of Game 2 is high for ball 1. And Hannah Hall is back in the circle for the second game of this all-important doubleheader. Unless there's a trip up down the road with that win a few moments ago here in Game 1, the Marlins ostensibly clinching the number 1 seed in the ODAC tournament. Pop up to Richardson at short, and Roth is retired with the out there for out number 1 as we get underway in game number 2. Randolph-Macon down early 1-0 in baseball at Hampden-Sydney. They have tied it. It is now 1-1, bottom of the 4th. Whittemore looking to get on the bunt, but a nice play by the freshman catcher who pinched hit in late in the game, Dana Berge, with the throw to first to retire Whittemore for the second out of the inning. So 2 out, nobody on for Savannah Wood, who scored the lone Randolph-Macon run in that 7th inning comeback in game number 1. First pitch, very high, gets away from the catcher, but no one on base, no harm, no foul. Davidson popped one into shallow center. Richardson, the shortstop, went out. Ford, the center fielder, came in. They kind of hurt each other's cause. Ball drops in, and Wood went all the way to second. aggressively on the base paths, and then Harley Jones, who's on deck, slammed a double to the center field wall to score her for that tying run in game number 1 of the 7th. 2-0 pitch coming here. That's high for ball 3. So Wood ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes as we get underway here in game number 2. Rob with them along with you live from Marlins Park in Virginia Beach. Low and away for ball 4, and it's a 2-out walk for Savannah Wood. And the Yellow Jackets get their first runner aboard in the first inning, and Harley Jones, who had the RBI double in the 7th in game 1, coming up to the plate. She leads the Yellow Jackets in round trippers this year. It'd be a great opportunity to slam one over a fence right now and get a 2-0 lead early. First pitch, strike 1 at the letters. A little bit inside of center, and Hall ahead in the count 0-1. Hall, the product of Clover Hill High School National Division III Pitcher of the Year as a freshman in the Marlins National Championship season of 2017. She delivers the 0-1. Foul out of play down the first base line, and the count to Harley Jones is 0-2 with Sammy Davidson, the catcher, on deck should the inning continue. Jones is ready. Here's the 0-2. Low, and the throw to second base goes into center field as it was wide of second. And a stolen base for Wood, and she gets herself in scoring position now with the count 1-2 with 2 out top of the first. And we're in a almost exact same situation as we were in the 7th of game 1, except there weren't 2 out at the time. Jones could rope one here. It could be a 1-0 Yellow Jacket lead. Count at 2-2. Hall asks for clarification. Umpire gives it to her. And now we're set. 2-2 pitch. Lined into center field. That's a base hit. Rounding third. Heading for home. The throw cut off by Harrowan. Throw into second. And she's out. Jones will be thrown out trying to get to second base, but Wood will score. And we'll have a 1-0 Yellow Jacket lead midway through the first inning. Yellow Jacket head coach Kevin Proffitt does not like the call at second base. Neither do the fans behind us and to our right. But honestly, fans, it looked like a good call from our end. That just in time, the throw and the swipe tag in to retire Jones, trying to get that second base after the RBI single. But the Yellow Jackets do touch up Hannah Hall in the first inning for 1 run. And it is 1-0 Randolph-Macon, middle of the first. So middle of first inning, our score is 1-0. Freshman Maddie Rhodes from nearby Nansman River High School gets the call in the circle to start game 2 for Randolph-Macon. Defensively, no changes in the infield and no changes in the outfield. Exact same 8 that will defend Rhodes as defended Whittemore in game number 1. And it'll be Kirsten Richardson to lead it off here in the first inning. And it's a called strike 1 down the middle for Rhodes, and Richardson down 0-1. Richardson scored both Marlin runs in the game 1 2-1 victory. Next pitch outside, count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Rhodes, freshman, one of 2 quality freshman pitchers for Randolph-Macon. Kaylee Scott, the Lee Davis product, as well, has seen significant action this year. Next pitch high, 2-1 to Richardson. Sandiford quickly ties her shoe over at third base. Haven't done a cursory search, but would suspect that Virginia Wesleyan has spent very little time as Richardson rips one between third and short for a leadoff single to left. And the leadoff hitter is aboard. Richardson walked to start game 1. She'll single to start game 2. That'll bring up Maddie Glopke with 1 out, no outs, and 1 aboard. Marlins have spent very, very, very precious little time trailing in a game this year. Game 36 for them. They've won the first 35. First pitch is at the knees to Glopke for strike 1. Count 0-1. Richardson at first on the leadoff single to left. And the Marlins down 1-0 early. Next pitch, bunt. Rhodes will get it. Throw to first. Stone covering. Got her by a half step. Richardson gets to second on the sacrifice bunt.
Up to the plate, number 12, first baseman, Cassidy Halloran.
That'll bring up Harrowen. She had the double in the first inning of game 1 to score Richardson from third. Right now, Richardson at second with 1 out here in the first. Off speed in there for strike 1. Count 0-1 to Cassidy Halloran, today's first baseman for Virginia Wesleyan. Rhodes is ready, 0-1, high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Rhodes is ready, the 1-1, swing and a miss. And Rhodes ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Harrowen. Harrowen leads the team with 39 RBI this year. Next pitch away, 2-2 the count. Rhodes gets the sign, 2-2 pitch. Popped up, and that'll be behind us and out of play. And we'll stay at 2-2. Richardson at second. Outfielders straight away in their positions. Infield, playing double play depth. Fly ball well hit center field. Hill going back. It hits the wall. Briefly gets away from Hill. She'll throw it in. It'll be a double with a run scored. Richardson in with the tying run. Harrowen, her second RBI of the day, her 40th of the year, and we are tied 1-1, bottom of 1. And to the plate, the walk-off hitter from game 1, Caitlin Biondo, will come in with Harrowen at second and a chance for them to take the lead here in inning number 1. It's hard to figure out Harrowen if you've not faced her before, and that was Rhodes' first shot at her. Cassidy wins the battle by hitting the base of the center field fence. Then the ball got away from Hill long enough as it glanced off the fence. Hill had to give chase. It gave Cassidy plenty of time to get the second base. Pitch foul back to the screen. We're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. One's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Inning 1. Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets 1. Harrowen at second, and now the pitch. Right down the middle for strike 2. Bianco taking the whole way, and now down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rhodes is ready, the 1-2, fly ball, shallow left field. Shortstop Wood's going to go out and grab it, make the play. Second out of the inning, and with 2 down and the runner at second, that'll bring up Amy Large.
Amy Large.
Large, a left-handed hitter. First pitch to Amy, hits the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1, the count on Amy Large. Trying to get Harrowen in for the lead run in a 1-1 tie, bottom of the first inning. 0-1, give her the corner again, and Rhodes quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. If there are any nerves in Maddie, she's not showing them right now. The freshman from Nansemond River in the circle for Randolph-Macon, 0-2. Fly ball left center field, Hill breaking forward, and Shelby will make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So a run in for the Marlins. Richardson does it one more time. She's scored all 3 Marlin runs so far this afternoon. And we go to the second in game 2, and it's Virginia Wesleyan 1 and Randolph-Macon 1. Well, fans, coming up Friday morning, as we do each and every Friday on ESPN Richmond, RVA locals only every Friday morning at 9:30 during the Black and Drew Sports Huddle. I join Bob Black and Andrew Wallace live as we talk to coaches, players, movers, and shakers in local sports in the RVA. We are hoping to have a great guest for the NASCAR edition of RVA Locals Only coming up on Friday morning. Every Friday morning, 9:30. Join us live on 99.5 and 102.7 ESPN, 950 on the AM dial. In the office, you can join us at espnrichmond.com or on the ESPN Richmond app. You can listen on your phone, tablet, or other mobile device. That's every Friday morning at 9:30. RVA Locals Only on 99.5 and 102.7 ESPN. And Friday morning, we will be broadcasting the Black and Drew Sports Huddle will be live coming up at Richmond Raceway. Richmond Raceway will be the guest of the Black and Drew Sports Huddle coming up on Friday morning from 8 until 10. Hope you start your day with them as you're headed to work. Golick and Wingo from 6 to 8 in the morning, and then it's the Black and Drew Sports Huddle weekday mornings 8 until 10. And we join them Fridays at 9:30 for RVA Locals Only. Sammy Davison, the catcher, leading off the top of the second inning for the Yellow Jackets in a 1-1 tie with Virginia Wesleyan, as the Marlins again go with Hannah Hall in the circle. First pitch line to the second baseman, and she can't get to it. It'll go off her glove, and that is a leadoff for Davidson. We'll see if they rule it a hit or an error. Believe they're going to rule that an error on the play. The ball was looping down toward the ground, but Biondo had a shot to catch it and wasn't able to grab it with kind of the backhand stab. And so Davidson will get on with the leadoff error, and Shelby Hill to the plate, looking to bunt. Bunts it up in the air. It stays fair and then trails foul. A break there for the Marlins, as Hill would have easily been aboard had the ball hugged the mud and stayed in fair territory. I tell you, the bunch, remember on the game of the week 48 hours ago down in Prince George with Lee Davis, they didn't move a muscle. Hill this time bunts, and that one gets behind her foul, and the count's 0-2. And Randolph-Macon has really struggled putting down bunts here today. That's been one of the weakest parts of their attack. And now with 0-2, Maddie Stone has been out twice on strikes with third strike bunt attempts. We'll see if Hill tries it again. She will not. She'll foul it away. Out of play. Count stays at 0-2, and Shelby is a good enough hitter to where, at this particular point, love to see her get one in the gap and get something going here in the second. Down 0-2, eliminate the bunt situation. Here we go. It's outside, 1-2. Davidson will run for herself at first. No courtesy runner for the catcher. Top of the second and a 2-2 tie. Hull ready. The 1-2. Fly ball into center field. Ford gets underneath it, and Beth will make the catch for out number 1. So that'll bring up the third baseman, Taylor Sandiford. And we'll see if Coach Profit puts the bunt on with Taylor, the sophomore from Atlee High School. Davidson still at first. First pitch is low for ball 1. Hall anticipating a bunt, decided to give one low, and Taylor didn't budge. 1-0 the count. Hall ready and delivers. Misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Sandiford. Maddie Stone, the second baseman, on deck. 2-0, 1 out. And Davidson at first. Top second, we're tied 1-1. The 2-0. Gets the inside corner for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the bunt signal has not been given to Sandiford in this at-bat. Hall ready, 2-1. Foul down the first baseline, playable for Howard, and she will make the catch in foul territory for the second out of the inning. Davidson stays at first, and that will bring up Maddie Stone.
Number 2, Maddie Stone.
Now, even with 2 out, a bunt is a possibility here with Maddie, though she struggled with it today simply because of her speed. If she could lay a good one down, she might be able to beat the throw, get the bunt single, and get Abernathy to the plate, the number 9 hitter in the order. First pitch not showing it, and it's low for ball 1. It's a good time to be in Abernathy. Stone ready, the 1-0. Misses outside, 2-0. Got Casey here on deck for number 4, Randolph-Macon. You got Caitlin getting work done for Prince George, number 1 team in our top 10 high school softball poll, unbeaten at 11-0. 2-0 pitch is fouled down the right field line, and it will go out of play. And the count will be 2-1. And congratulations to the younger Abernathy. She is going to head down this direction to play softball collegiately, not here, but over at Christopher Newport University. Stone ahead of the count, 2-1 with 2 out, and Davidson at first. Hall ready. Pop up. Shortstop Richardson to the shallow left field. She'll make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So Davidson aboard on the air, but she gets stranded at first base. And we go bottom of inning number 2 with our score, Virginia Wesleyan and Randolph-Macon squared at 1-1. Maddie Rhodes will come back out for her 2nd inning of work in her freshman debut against these Marlins. Again, ODAC softball tournament begins, fans, on the 27th. That's a week from Friday down in Salem. Championship scheduled to be on Sunday, the 29th. It is no guarantee that these 2 teams could play each other for the title. They certainly could, but there are some other teams in the ODAC, from Emory and Henry to Lynchburg and others, who would love to have something to say in a double elimination formatted tournament. Winner of the championship tournament will get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. I think it's almost a foregone conclusion that both of these teams will be in the NCAA tournament. One of them could be doing it by way of the automatic bid. And even if we had a Cinderella winner at the ODAC tournament, I don't think these 2 teams miss the big dance this year. Randolph-Macon has never had 30 wins in a season this early. Middle of April and standing at 30-2. Just a phenomenal campaign for this program. It just so happens that it's happening at the same time where they have a team in the ODAC that wins the national title, comes back and wins their first 34 straight, now 35. Catcher Burgee to the plate, bottom 2 underway. First pitch misses low and inside for ball 1. We're in a 1-1 tie, fans. Teams trade runs in the first inning. And now the 1-0. Misses just a bit high and outside. 2-0 the count. Rhodes is ready, the 2-0. Swing and a miss, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Freshman against freshman here. Burgee from Chesapeake, from Deep Creek High School. Rhodes from Nansman River. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Memory serves me correctly, they're not in the same classification, but they certainly could have played each other during their high school careers down here in the 757. 2-2. Foul, out of play toward first base, and we'll try it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch, swing and a miss, and Rhodes registers her first strikeout of the afternoon.
Coming to bat for the Marlins, number 1, Julie Fassel.
1 out here in inning number 2, and it'll bring up freshman Julia Fassel out of New Egypt, New Jersey. First pitch, check the swing. Did she go? The answer, yes, she did. It's strike 1. 0-1 Rhodes ahead of Fossil. They've gone to the 6th in Farmville. It's a 1-1 tie in baseball. Hamden, Sydney 1, Randolph-Macon 1 as Rhodes misses in and tight. The count's 1-1. Yellow Jacket baseball trying to win their 25th of the year today. Next pitch misses away, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Fossil. With 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 2nd and a 1-1 tie. The 2-1 tapped, foul, and it's 2-2 to Fossil. As a few seagulls make their way right across Marlins Park. And Sinet, the third baseman, on deck. The pitch, swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Rhodes. 2 Ks, 2 away for Sinet, the third baseman.
Number 5, Julia Sinet.
So 2 out, nobody on, and Rhodes doing very well right now. A nice groove for the freshman. Sinet, though, quality hitter. First pitch, foul back to the screen, 0-1 the count. So 1-1 here in the 2nd of game 2. 1-1 Sydney and Randolph-Macon and Farmville in the only game in baseball. 0-1 pitch. Tapper toward Rhodes, and she'll be able to grab that one out of the air cleanly for the 3rd out of the inning. Nice inning for Maddie Rhodes. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the 3rd. Tied 1-1. Fans, our next scheduled game of the week broadcast, we're back to Lee Davis for big-time softball action. A week from Friday night, April 27th, it will be the Atlee Raiders coming in to take on Lee Davis in another chapter in their storied rivalry, which included, of course, that state championship game last year. Lee Davis went to Atlee and won 2-0 in 8 innings back on March 29th. Atlee has had a lot of success in recent years on Route 360, and we'll see if they keep it alive. Our coverage begins next Friday night, April 27th at 7 Eastern, right here on our YouTube channel. Game of the Week broadcast schedule always updated on the right-hand side of RVASportsNetwork.com and HanoverCountySports.net. And the easiest way to make sure you're in touch with the RVA Sports Network Game of the Week is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button right now at youtube.com/RVA Sports Network. We promise we won't spam you. We won't send you advertisements. All we'll do is send you email notices whenever we put up a new video on our YouTube channel or when we go live with a game of the weeks. Hit subscribe at youtube.com/RVA Sports Network. 0-1 the count to Casey Abernathy as we start the 2nd. Now a pop-up toward 3rd. Richardson calls off Sinet, and Kirsten will make the catch for the 1st out of the inning, turn around and thank Julia for letting her have it. 1 away here, top of the 3rd, and the top of the order for Kirsten Roth.
Number 20, Kirsten Roth.
Right fielder who made a couple of nice defensive plays in game 1. Bunt gets past Hall, and it's a single for Roth on the drag bunt. Not trying to drop it in front of the plate, but she was able to get it past Hannah, right of the circle from our view, left of the circle for Hannah's view. And Kirsten aboard with a bunt single here in the 3rd. And that'll bring up the DP, Candace Whittemore. 1-1, top of the 3rd. Another bunt, this one foul. As Candace trying to get the runner Roth over to 2nd. That'll bring the infield in. Howerwin was already that way. Sinet will crawl up a little bit more. Candace shows bunt, pulls away, gets away from the catcher Burgee, and to 2nd goes Roth. That probably will be a pass ball. They're going to call it a wild pitch instead. Looked like it caromed off of the catcher's mitt, but it's a wild pitch on Hall, and the count's 1-1. Whittemore this time goes to swing, and she misses, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 with 1 out. Roth, the runner now at 2nd, advancing on the wild pitch, and Hall ready. Pfister towards 2nd base, and it'll be caught there. Biondo takes care of that. So 2 out. Roth has to hug 2nd base to avoid the double play. And it'll be Savannah Wood coming in now with 2 down and the runner at second. And Wood scoring the lone run for Randolph-Macon in game 1 in the 7th. First pitch misses away for ball 1. She got that hit that was in between Richardson and Ford. It was ruled an error. She landed at second base and scored on the Jones double to the center field fence. 1-0 misses. 2-0 the count. You earn the strike zone here today. Every pitcher will. 2-0 pitch. That one's in for strike 1. 2-1 now to Wood. And if Wood can get aboard, Harley Jones on deck for the Yellow Jackets. The 2-1. High. 3 balls, 1 strike. Roth at second, representing the go-ahead run with 2 down here, top of the 3rd, and a 1-1 tie. Hall ready and fires. She'll get the call at the knees. Wood thought it was ball 4. It is 3-2. Hall gets the strike. Wood resets in the batter's box. Roth at second. The 3-2 pitch. Fisted foul and out of play down the first baseline, and will stay full at 3-2. One, top of the 3rd. Wood with an RBI opportunity here. Roth at second. Here comes the payoff pitch again. Fouled again out of play. And we'll try it again at 3-2. Jones patiently awaits on deck should the inning roll on. Hall asks for another ball. So we'll call timeout. And Deja will send the ball out to Hall. And she's a little more satisfied. Not a whole lot. Grabs some dirt. Approaches the rubber. And we get set for another 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. Line down the left field line. Foul. It was high and inside. And Savannah got around it, but a little early. Still 3-2 with Roth at second and 2 out. Hall asks for a different softball. And we get a couple from out of play in play. And we'll get set for another 3-2 showdown. Wood and Hall here in the 3rd. Here it comes. Fly ball into left field, playable, and the wind helps pick it up in time for the left fielder to get under it to grab the 3rd out of the inning. So Roth will be stranded at second. Another missed opportunity there for the Yellow Jackets on the base pads. And we go bottom 3 here in Virginia Beach, tied 1-1. Maddie Rhodes back out for her 3rd inning of work. She is going to see the 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up Ford Richardson, who singled off of her and scored in the 1st inning, and Globke scheduled as well. Beth Ford had a chance to sit down and interview her for an article back last summer about the experience of playing for a national championship team coming out of Patrick Henry High School. It was a lot of fun sitting down and sharing those experiences with her. And again, Beth, part of the Richmond area connectors to this Marlin Ball Club. Ford, the center fielder from Patrick Henry. The battery is from Richmond, Jessica Lindsay, who usually starts at catcher. Not today in game 2. She was the game 1 starter from Manchester. Shortstop Richardson, who scored all 3 runs today for the Marlins, from Glen Allen. And, of course, Hannah Hall from Clover Hill. First pitch high and inside, and a ball 1 to Beth Ford. Rhodes beginning her 3rd inning of work, and she's got Richardson and Globke to deal with in this inning as well. The 1-0 low, and the count is 2-0. Rhodes now kind of understanding the squeeze on the strike zone here this afternoon. The 2-0. That's inside, 3-0. And Ford would have no problem accepting a leadoff walk here for her Marlins in the 3rd inning. And there's an inside pitch for strike one. 3-1 the count on Beth Ford. Pitch grounded to short. Wood has it. Quick throw, and Ford retired for the first out of the inning. Ford and Candace Whittemore are both 2015 graduates of Patrick Henry, along with Paige Mitchell, who is, of course, up at James Madison. One away here in the third, top of the order. It's Kirsten Richardson, the shortstop. First pitch in there for strike one. As we are just a little bit before 6 p.m., about 13 minutes to the top of the hour on this Wednesday evening. The sun behind the trees behind us. 0-1 pitch. Foul back and out of play. 0-2 the count. And the wind a little bit more of a presence here in game two than it was in game one. Weather forecast is calling for the wind to pick up significantly overnight as a cold front comes in. And tomorrow is going to be another one of those windy spring days. 0-2. Off-speed pitch, got her. Richardson goes down swinging. Not happy with herself as she goes back to the dugout. Rhodes wins that battle, pulling the string, and there's two out here in the third. And Maddie Globke comes to the plate, trying to get a two-out rally going for the Marlins in this 1-1 tie. First pitch is high and outside for ball one. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Yellow Jackets in the fourth, including Harley Jones to lead things off. The 1-0. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch. That's in there for strike one. 2-1 the count. They are still 6th inning in Farmville. Randolph-Macon, Hamden, Sydney baseball tied at 1-1. Tigers batting bottom of the 6th inning. Now the 2-1. Foul out of play here to the first base side. And Globke even at 2-2. Rhodes trying to get another 1-2-3 inning here in the third. Rhodes is ready, and the 2-2. Ground all towards second. Stone, nice play there. Throws to Jones at first to retire the side. And we have finished 3 tonight. Here in game 2 of this game of the week, doubleheader softball special. Virginia Wesleyan, Randolph-Macon, all knotted up 1 apiece. While we have a minute, we want to thank everybody here at Virginia Wesleyan University for helping us out and making this broadcast possible, for their hospitality, and for all the help and helping us, getting us down here and getting us set up here this afternoon. And, of course, a big thank you to the staff at Randolph-Macon, my buddy Taylor here to the left, helping us out here on the broadcast today with information. And to the ODAC for allowing us to step into the college realm on our game of the week. Normally, we are your home of the high school game of the week, but this one was just too good to pass up with the stakes, the team's success, all the Richmond connections with both teams. It was tailor-made for the RVA Sports Network, and we're so glad we were able to come down and make this happen this afternoon. We go to the fourth, and it'll be 4, 5, 6 in the order for the Yellow Jackets. And Harley Jones will get set to swing away here to start the top of the 4th inning. Leads the Yellow Jackets in home runs this year. And Hall getting set to work her 12th inning today. First pitch high and tight for ball one. Yellow Jacket faithful in the dugout getting alive. Sandiford there standing just inside. Here comes the 1-0 to Harley Jones. Also inside, not quite as tight, and the count 2-0. Davidson on deck, Sandiford in the hole. Or Hill in the hole. Sandiford batting 4th here in the inning. Should it go on that far? That one's going to miss outside corner. 3-0. Hannah not happy with that call. Been a lot of disappointed pitchers for the 3 who have represented the circle here today. They got to earn those strikes with this umpire crew. 3-0 is in at the knees for strike one. And the count 3-1. Jones will take her time, get a word from Coach Profit, get back into the batter's box. And Harley is ready. Hull ready, the 3-1. Foul down the right field line and out of play. And that one will hop over the fence into the trees. Behind the first baseline, very similar to what it is in Ashland, except no fence. Go into the trees and find yourself a softball. And we kindly ask that you return it to the field. 3-2 pitch. Foul, just got a piece of it to Jones. Hits the screen in front of us. And we'll try it again at 3-2. Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets 1. Yellow Jackets scored top 1. Marlins answered bottom 1, and we've been deadlocked ever since. It's the top of the 4th. And the 3-2 to Jones again. Fly ball, well hit, left field. Left fielder trying to find it, does, and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Jones just got underneath it, not far away from a round tripper. Win, not really much of a factor in that one. And there is one out here in the 4th inning. Davidson, the catcher, now to the plate with one away and nobody on. And the first pitch is at the knees, for strike 1. Ground ball towards second. Underhanded throw to Howard at first, and it's in time to retire Davidson for the second out of the inning.
Now hitting for the Yellow Jackets, number 23, Shelby Hill.
So with 2 out and nobody on here in the 4th, it'll bring up center fielder Shelby Hill, former Atlee Raider, 2 years at St. Margaret's School, and now second year starting at center for Coach Profit in Randolph-Macon. Had a fantastic freshman year in Ashland. Down to the count early, 0-1. Hall ready to deliver again. Showing a bunt. It gets to Hannah. That'll be a quick throw, and it's dropped by Biondo, covering at first. And Hill will be aboard on an error with 2 out here in the 4th. And Sandiford will get her turn at the plate.
Now hitting for Randolph-Macon, number 6, Taylor Sandiford.
So Shelby Hill to first. Dropped. Hall had it in plenty of time, looked like going to get out of the inning, but Biondo couldn't grab it at first base covering. Sandiford showing bunt. Hill trying to get to second, and she'll be in there with a head first toss slide with a stolen base. The count was ball 1, so Sandiford now ahead in the count 1-0. Hill quickly to second on the stolen base, and the Yellow Jackets trying to manufacture the go-ahead run here with 2 out in the 4th. Here's the 1-0. Popped it up in the infield. Richardson's calling off everybody, and behind the circle, she'll make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Sandiford missed the opportunity there. Hill stranded at second, and we're in the middle of the 4th inning now of Game 2 at Marlins Park, and we're still tied. Number 1-1, number 4-1, Yellow Jackets and Marlins. And a fantastic afternoon of ODAC College Softball here live on a special edition of the Game of the Week on the RVA Sports Network. Last check, 2 out, bottom of the 6th inning. Hampton-Sydney still batting in that 1-1 tie with Randolph-Macon. Baseball action in Farmville. We mentioned earlier in Game 1, in case you weren't with us, a week from today, we're going to be heading down to Longwood University because Duke University will be there for a doubleheader. Non-conference affair, of course. First season ever for Duke Blue Devils softball. And it's going to give us a chance to cover former Atlee standouts Peyton St. George and Rain Wilson next Wednesday. It's not a broadcast day. We'll be there to do a special article for the RVA Sports Network on HanoverCountySports.net. Also give us a chance to see Glenn Walters. Glenn was a teammate of Kirsten Richardson at Glen Allen. Graduated in 2014 as well. She's a senior for the 2-time Big South champions as Harrowan takes a big cut at strike 1 in the count 0-1 as we start the bottom of the 4th for Virginia Wesleyan. Next pitch outside, even at 1-1. So next Wednesday, doubleheader starts at 5 o'clock. So we'll be under the lights in Farmville before it's all said and done. Really looking forward to checking out the Blue Devils and the Lancers. Outside again, Rhodes behind in the count now on Cassidy at 2-1. And again, the ODAC tournament next weekend in Salem. 2-1 pitch. Misses high, 3-1 to Harrowan. She's produced a couple of big RBI here this afternoon. Now has 40 on the year for number 1 Virginia Wesleyan. The 3-0 low. And a ball 4. Correction, 3-1 pitch. But she gets aboard on the leadoff walk. And here comes Biondo, the second baseman, who got the walk-off single in the 8th for the 2-1 win in game 1. And we'll see if we get a bunt attempt here. Rhodes, first pitch in there for strike 1 to Biondo. Oh, 1 the count, nobody out. 1-1 tie in the 4th. Now she'll show bunt and bunt foul. And the count now, no balls and 2 strikes to Biondo. Amy Large is on deck. Happy Wednesday evening, everyone, listening across the RVA Sports Network, wherever you may be. We appreciate you being with us for this Game of the Week doubleheader special. Next pitch pulled back on the swing. Check swing, no. Nice shot by Biondo to hang in there. And the count 1-2. Double play depth for short and second. 1-2. Biondo doesn't pull the trigger again. Takes another high one. 2-2. Nice patience there by Caitlin. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Marlins in the 1-1 tie, trying to break it here. Lined into left field, and that's a base hit. Harrowan to second. Abernathy will handle it, get it into Wood at shortstop, and we have a developing situation for Virginia Wesleyan. Amy Large to the plate. Runners first and second. Nobody out here in the 4th. And the Marlin lineup getting to see Rhodes now for the second time and starting to make some adjustments. No one has had a lead of more than 1 run this afternoon. First pitch low for ball 1. Marlins took a 1-0 lead top of the 1st. It held till the top of the 7th in game 1, where the Yellow Jackets tied it. We went extras, and the Marlins won 2-1 in 8 innings. 1-0. This is inside. 2-0 to Amy Large. Both teams got a run home in the 1st here in game 2. We've been stuck at 1-1 ever since, but now bottom 4. Large ahead in the count 2-0 with a runner at first and second, nobody out. Foul out of play off the third base side. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike. So Rhodes working in some trouble here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Virginia Wesleyan looking to improve to 36-0 on the season. Pitch showing bunt. It's fouled back to the screen. And the count is 2-2. Nobody out. Bergie, the catcher, is on deck. Large, the left-handed hitter, is ready. The 2-2. Pop up, shallow right field. Stone's going to grab it. The second baseman goes out to make the catch for a critical out number 1.
Now batting for the Marlins, number 15, Deja Bergie.
So with 1 away here in the 4th inning, we are going to get a pinch hitter as Bergie will come back to the dugout.
Pinch hitting for the Marlins, number 17, Teresa Cardamone.
And the pinch hitter is going to be senior Teresa Cardamone, senior infielder and catcher out of Chantilly High School up in Northern Virginia in Oak Hill, with an opportunity here with runners at first and second and 1 out. First pitch low for ball 1. Teresa Cardinone, her first at-bat of the afternoon, comes at a critical juncture. The 1-0. That's in there for strike one. Rhodes evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Julia Fossil is on deck with 1 out and runners at first and second. The pitch line down the right field line, but hooking foul. And the count at 1-2. You think about what the senior class has meant to this Marlin program and how it has ascended. It was a great program to begin with, and now looking for back-to-back national championships to end their careers. Next pitch, fouled back to the screen. And it's still 1-2. Taylor, I've been doing this a long time, and I still freak out when it hits the screen, thinking it's going to hit me. We'll try it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rhodes is ready. Runners ready. The pitch outside, 2-2. You never, ever, ever completely trust the chain link fence in front of you. It's just human nature. Rhodes shakes off one, shakes off another. Now she's ready with the 2-2. Tap back to the screen again. Taylor doesn't flinch nearly as much. Good job in the clutch there. We're still at 2-2 in this 1-1 tie. Cardinone, the pinch hitter for the Marlins, with runners at first and second and 1 out. Rhodes is ready and fires. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Davidson did catch the ball, so no need to throw to first. Runners will stay at first and second. So Stone with the catch on the pop out for the first out. Now a K for Rhodes and a critical one. So now Fossil to the plate. Runner still at first and second. 2 out, but a play at any base could get out of the inning. First pitch gets the inside corner for strike 1 to Julia Fossil. She could drive one into the outfield. It could be 2-1. Rhodes is ready. The 0-1. Misses high. 1-1 the count. Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets 1 in game 2. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. And the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There were first and second with nobody out. Then a pop out, a strikeout. And Rhodes is 1 strike away from getting out of the jam and keeping the tie intact. The freshman is ready. Here comes the 1-2. Misses inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fossil with very nice discipline there to take that one. Yellow Jacket fans wanted the call, did not get it. And now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Rhodes gets the strikeout to get out of the inning. Great work by Maddie Rhodes there. We'll go to the 5th, and we're still tied. Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets 1. Here in game 2 of this ODAC college softball doubleheader special on the RBA Sports Network, game of the week. Fans, again, our next game of the week broadcast a week from Friday night. Back to Lee Davis High School for the tradition that is at Lee Davis softball. Another round in that incredible rivalry. Looking forward to that one. We'll hit the air at 7 o'clock Eastern time, live in the tower at Lee Davis. Raiders Confederates live on the RBA Sports Network. Currently Atlee ranked 6th in our top 10. Lee Davis at 2, but suffering their first loss at number 1 Prince George. Back on Monday on the game of the week, 7-1. They beat Henrico last night. They go to number 7 Hanover on Friday night. We're going to be at Patrick Henry with live Twitter coverage of number 6 Atlee and number 8 Patrick Henry on Friday night.
Now, leading off for Randolph-Macon, number 2, Maddie Stone.
Looking forward to being in Ashland on Friday. We'll be checking out baseball as well. Maddie Stone will lead things off here in the top of the 5th. First pitch fouled back to the screen. And the count 0-1 on the second baseman, the sophomore, 2016 Glen Allen High School graduate. One of 2 former Jags on the roster for Randolph-Macon. 0-1 pitch, line towards second. Biondo knocks it down, throws it to first, and a great play by Caitlin defensively to retire Stone for the first out of the inning. Biondo had trouble with the ball hit to her back an inning or so ago. Definitely redeems with a great play there. One away here in the fifth, and Brittany Leprod, 0 for 1 in a pinch hit appearance in game one, will hit for Coach Profit here in the fifth inning of game number 2. Hannah Hall ready in the first pitch, outside for ball 1. Hall working her 13th inning today. No sign of any relief as she just keeps on going like a machine. The 1-0. Inside corner for strike 1 on Leprod. Count even 1-1. Top of the order, Kirsten Roth, who got on base with a single last time at bat, on deck. 1-1 slammed into left field, going back to the warning track and making the catch on the track for the second out of the inning. Leprod so close on that one. And we have 2 out here in the fifth inning, but Brittany got a hold of that one. And in a few parks in the ODAC, that would have been gone. Roth looked to bunt, pulled back, ball 1. Made Sinet fly in from third and Harrowan from first. That's how Roth got aboard, dragged a bunt right past Hall a couple of innings ago. The 1-0 pitch, slam back to Hall on a one-hopper. Hannah's got it. Throw to first, and the side is retired. So it'll be the heart of the order for the Yellow Jackets in the 6th, but they've got work to do defensively in the bottom of the 5th to keep it. Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets 1 here in game 2 on the game of the week. Let's get a quick update from baseball. They've gone to the 7th. Rick Spires singled, but was stranded. No, he wasn't actually. He got caught in a double play later. Hamden Sydney now at bat, bottom 7 in a 1-1 tie. Still, Yellow Jackets 1, Hamden Sydney 1, and Virginia Wesleyan fans, baseball fans, are keeping an eye on that one today because they're right behind the Yellow Jackets in the ODAC standings. And even though the Yellow Jackets swept them in 2 games that could not have been more different, a walk-off thrilling win in Ashland, and then 2 days later, the Yellow Jackets came down and had a rout win here at the beach. Marlins still hoping Yellow Jackets could struggle down the stretch. They could pick up the number 1 seed for the ODAC tournament, which again begins the first weekend in May. New tournament format. Top 4 seeds will host seeds 5 through 8 in 2 out of 3 series. And those who survive those series head to a 4-team tournament May 10th through 12th for the ODAC championship and the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Bottom of the 5th underway, and a foul out of play. Sinet quickly down 0-2. 8-9-1 hitters here in the bottom of the 5th. Sinet, Ford, and the top of the order, Richardson. Maddie ready. 0-2. Fouled out of play behind us, and it's still 0-2. Great crowd filed in today. Some of the students for Wesleyan have taken off. I'm suspecting because the dining hall's open for dinner. Next pitch, fly ball into center field. Hill looking at it and grabs it for out number 1 here in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up the Patrick Henry graduate, center fielder Beth Ford. So former Atlee Raider in center for Randolph-Macon, former Patrick Henry Patriot in center for Virginia Wesleyan. And Ford comes to the plate with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th in a 1-1 tie. First pitch high for ball 1. Well, no matter what happens here this afternoon and how this game turns out, the Yellow Jackets will hit the road going back to Ashland knowing that they can play with the number 1 team in the country. Next pitch high for ball 2. And that makes all the difference when you have to go in and then get ready for that tournament play, make sure you don't get tripped up by a young and hungry team to possibly get another shot at the Marlins down the road ODAC tournament time next weekend. Rhodes now down to the count 3-0, not quite understanding how she didn't get that pitch for strike one. The 3-0 down the middle, Ford taking the whole time, and it's 3-1. Next pitch, inside for ball 4. One out walk to Beth Ford, and she's a very speedy center fielder and dangerous on the base paths. And the leadoff hitter, Kirsten Richardson, comes up. Of course, Richardson, they may try the bunt here, but Kirsten's such a good hitter. We'll see what Coach Elliott decides to do. The speedy Ford at first. First pitch, in for strike one. Davidson helped sell that pitch. And the count 0-1. One out, Ford at first in a 1-1 tie, bottom of the 5th inning. Next pitch, lifted into left center field. Abernathy going for it, so is Hill, and Hill makes the catch. Neither of them heard the other call the other off. And disaster averted there, as Hill's able to hang on for the second out of the inning. When they run into each other in the outfield, it normally doesn't end well. Globke comes up now with 2 down and Ford still at first, representing the go-ahead run in this 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 5th of game 2. First pitch, Ford going. Throw down to second. Got her. Davidson with a bullet to Wood. Ford cut down, and we go to the 6th. Tied at 1. Fantastic play by Davidson. She just fired that one without a problem right to the heart of second base, and Ford had no chance. Marlins 1, Yellow Jackets 1. 6th inning to come. Hull back in the circle, and the Yellow Jackets trying to figure out a way to take their second lead of the afternoon. They were up 1-0, top of the 1st in this one. They never led in game 1. Down 1-0 in the 1st, tied it in the 7th, and then the walk-off in the 8th for the 2-1 Virginia Wesleyan victory. Deja back in at catcher. No change there after the pinch hitter a couple of innings ago. Defense remains the same. Wind begins to pick up here quite a bit. And this is an important inning offensively because it's the 3-4 hitters for Randolph-Macon. Whittemore, Wood, Jones. They are the ones who have, along with Roth, helped make and create the damage in the 7th inning of game 1 and in the 1st inning of game 2. First pitch, Whittemore into center field, and it's a single right in front of Beth Ford, who had to stop and grab it off the ground. The one hopper, one pitch, single to center for Whittemore. And now Wood to the plate with the leadoff hitter at first in the top of the 6th for Randolph-Macon. Wood looking to bunt, pops it up, and it'll go out of play for strike 1. 0-1 the count, and the bunt woes continue for the Yellow Jackets here this afternoon. There will be bunting in practice tomorrow. Wood again. That one she got down the third base line. Throw to first. Biondo covering. Wood does the job. Whittemore to second. Runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the 6th. And it's Harley Jones, the cleanup hitter, coming to the plate. And Coach Elliott is going to call timeout and head to the circle for the first time this afternoon. And may this be it for Hall, or is he just checking on her condition? This is the beginning of her 14th inning of work today. I think he's just kind of testing things out and looking and deciding. He seems confident that Hannah can take care of business. Conversation continues, and the conversation comes to a close. And Hall will roll on. If I'm Coach Elliott, I have complete confidence in my National Player of the Year from a year ago, just as a freshman. and doing great things again this year. Harley Jones to the plate. Whittemore at second with one out. Pitch out on ball one. Whittemore not doing a thing, and they may not even give Jones something pretty to hit here at all. Yep, outside ball two. We may end up having an intentional walk of sorts to Harley Jones. They'd rather face Sammy Davidson. Again, outside for ball three. Jones had the double to the center field wall to get the tying run in game one. She just missed a home run earlier in game two. And this is respect for Harley Jones as they will walk her on 4 pitches. So now Sammy Davidson, the catcher, needs to come in and make them pay for that decision. With runners at first and second and one out. Here in the 1-1 tie in the 6th. Infield at double play depth. First pitch outside for ball one. If I'm Sammy, I see the respect to Harley, but I understand they want to face me. Tap foul to the screen, 1-1 the count to Davidson. I'd like to change what they say about me in their scouting reports. Here's an opportunity to do it. Hall working away so far. Let's see if they go inside this time. They do. Foul away, out of play. And the count 1-2 strikes to the catcher, Davidson. Sammy, a sophomore. We forget how young this Randolph-Macon team is. Harley Jones, the only senior on this team who is now 30-3 on the year. The 1-2. Fly ball, center field. Ford underneath it. She'll make the catch, get it into Richardson. Nobody will advance, and there are 2 out now in the 6th. And it presents a situation where the center fielder, Shelby Hill, comes to the plate. And she needs a base hit to keep this inning alive. Hill looking for somewhere to put one. Over the third baseman's head is one option. First pitch at the knees for strike one. There's room down the left field line. There's room in the right center field area as the right fielder plays further toward the line and right. Next pitch down left center field way. Will it drop? Will it drop? It does. Coming home is Whittemore. The Yellow Jackets lead 2-1. Shelby Hill, who had an awful start to the season offensively, was number 9 in the batting order for a while. She's worked her way back up to 6th in the order, and she finds that hole we mentioned with the bloop single into left center field, dropping, and Whittemore was coming all the way with 2 out, and it's a 2-1 Yellow Jacket lead here in the 6th inning. Sandiford, the third baseman. First pitch misses outside for ball one. Hall goes, oh my God, as she gets the ball back, reading her lips after that call. The 1-0. Foul, lined. Right fielder trying to come over. Second baseman will do it. Instead, Biondo just into foul territory, hustling quickly. So the Yellow Jackets will leave 2 aboard, but they get 1 in. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Randolph-Macon 2 and Virginia Wesleyan 1. Again, in terms of the ODAC standings, a split in this doubleheader is advantage Marlins. But what we're talking about right now would be a win in game 2 for Randolph-Macon would be A, confidence going into the ODAC tournament. And number 2, it would be the first loss of the year for the Marlins, currently at 35-0. A quick update to our fans on Twitter at Hanover Sports as to what happened. Randolph-Macon holding the lead. Middle of the 6th in game 2.
on the sixth inning, number 20, Maddie Glotke.
2, 3, 4 hitters, the heart of the order for the Marlins and their chance to respond. We start with Maddie Glotke. First pitch, misses low for ball 1. Rhodes ready, the 1-0 pitch. That's called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Leadoff hitter here in the 6th. Howerwin is on deck. The pitch. That's right down the pike, too. 1-2 to Glotke. Maddie Rhodes has had an impressive performance. Gave up the 1 run in the first inning. Has settled down since. And now is ready for the 1-2 pitch. Got her. Looking at the knees. There's 1 out here in the 6th inning. And the Yellow Jacket fans are coming alive here to our right. But this young lady right here can tie it in 1 swing. The first baseman, Cassidy Howerwin, to the plate with 1 out in the 6th inning. First pitch, strike 1 at the waist. 0-1 the count. What a career Howerwin has had here at Virginia Wesleyan. She could add another chapter right now. The 0-1. High into center field. Hill looking, going, getting the 2nd out of the inning. Howerwin hit the high one well, but just couldn't get enough on it because of its height. And Hill was in good position just to the second base side of center field. That's exactly where it was hit. And there are 2 out in the 6th inning. Caitlin Biondo comes to the plate now. 2 out, nobody on here in the 6th. Yellow Jackets up by 1. First pitch will miss just low for ball 1. And if the Yellow Jackets could pull off a win here, what a win this would be for the freshman from Nansemond River High School in the circle. The 1-0, fly ball lifted into right field. Roth coming in, can't make the play. Stone all the way out there, throws to second. The tag, she's out. Holy cow. Maddie Stone goes halfway down right field, grabs the ball and sends a bullet to the shortstop Wood, cuts down Bianco for the play. I told you earlier, if you're going to beat number 1, you must play sterling defense. That play started poorly and ended beautifully. We go to the 7th, and number 1 is down by 1. It's Randolph-Macon 2, Virginia Wesleyan 1. What an afternoon of softball we've had today here at the beach, fans, live and exclusively on the RVA Sports Network. All we thought it would be and more. Seventh inning coming up as we get a quick tweet out. Stone to the plate, first pitch to Maddie is ball 1. What a heads-up play by Maddie Stone. Racing into right field and just grabbing that ball and throwing it on a dime to second base for the 3rd out. Now she'll lift 1 into right center. Center fielder Ford over, and Beth nicely positioned to make the catch for the 1st out of the inning. So 1 away here in the 7th. Casey Abernathy to the plate. This is number 15 in terms of innings for Hannah Hall in the circle today. First pitch gets the call for strike 1, and she is approaching 190 pitches in this doubleheader thriller. Top of the order, Roth on deck. Abernathy shows bunt and takes strike 2. 0-2 the count. It will still be dangerous offensively in the 7th. The Marlins, That pitch misses outside, 1-2 to Abernathy. Even though they got through Howerwin, they got through Bianco. 5, 6, 7 hitters due up in the 7th inning. Hall ready, 1-2 pitch. Fouled away, out of play behind us. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes to Casey Abernathy. In case you're wondering, Candace Whitmore threw 130 pitches in game 1 in 8 innings. Maddie Rhodes is at 91 through 6 in game 2. Next pitch almost hits Abernathy, misses. 2-2 the count. Yellow Jackets 2, Marlins 1, top of the 7th. Pitch. Got her on the inside corner for strike 3. That's Hannah's first strikeout in quite a while. Yellow Jackets have been putting the ball in play with regularity here in game 2.
Now batting the Yellow Jackets number 20, Kirsten Roth.
So the top of the order and Kirsten Roth with 2 out and nobody on here in the 7th inning. First pitch swing and a miss for strike 1. Looking over the scorecard, that possibly may have been Hall's first K of the 2nd game. She was rolling with them first 4 innings of game 1. Roth with the 0-1 now, showing bunt, pops it up, and almost making the play. Wow. The catcher, Deja Burgi, dives for it, couldn't quite get to it, but great layout on the attempt. 0-2 the count now on Roth. With 2 out and nobody on, Whittemore on deck. Should Roth get aboard? 0-2 misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes as Hall is around the 200 pitch mark now for the afternoon. The 1-2 pitch. Lifted towards second, Bianco there, and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Yellow Jackets with a precarious 1-run lead. It will be Rhodes in the circle in the 7th. Get a quick update to our fans across our Twitter network. And here we go. Should be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up here. Amy Large to lead off in the 7th. Rhodes ready. Marlins need 1 to tie and 2 to get another walk-off win. Yellow Jackets 3 outs away from handing Virginia Wesleyan their first loss of the 2018 season. It all comes down to this. Again, the split would still be advantage Marlins in the standings. First pitch fouled out of play for strike 1. So the Marlins wouldn't lose necessarily any ground there. They started the day a game up on the Yellow Jackets. They'd be a game up and no further action between the two with the regular season ending this weekend. 0-1 pitch fisted back to the screen, and it's 0-2. But, man, would it give the Yellow Jackets a ton of confidence with the ODAC tournament looming. But they've got 4 big games to deal with this weekend, including a make-good doubleheader Sunday at home against Guilford. Next pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. They'll have to throw to first to make it official, and they do. Strikeout for Rhodes, 1 down here in the 7th. Deja Burgi to the plate. They're in the 8th in Farmville now.
14, Jessica Lindsay.
Let's go, Jess!
And check that. We've got a pinch hitter, and it's going to be Jessica Lindsay coming in to pinch hit. The catcher in game 1, and of course the former Manchester standout. A great opportunity here. She could always tie it with 1 swing. They're in the 8th in Farmville. It's still 1-1, Tigers and Yellow Jackets. First pitch here down the pike for strike 1 to Jessica Lindsay. With 1 out, nobody on in the 7th. and the Yellow Jackets up 2-1. Rhodes ready, the 0-1. Check swing. Did she go? Yes, she did. And it's 0-2 to Jessica Lindsay. Julia Fossil is on deck. We'll see if she hits or if we get a pinch hitter, depending upon what happens to Lindsay here. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Lindsay goes down on the high heat from Rhodes. There are 2 out in the 7th, and I believe Coach Elliott's going to send in another pinch hitter.
Number 0, Maria Weddle.
And so Maria Weddle, who had some good at-bats in that Game 1 2-1 victory, she will pinch hit for Julia Fossil. The Marlins are down to their final out. Their 35-0 run here, and the winning streak is more than that, dating back to last year's championship run, in jeopardy. First pitch in for strike 1. Oh, 1 the count. Pitch, tap to the screen, strike 2. The count is 0-2. Weddle's going to call a quick timeout, reset, and get back in the box. Rhodes is ready. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. And Randolph-Macon hands number 1 Virginia Wesleyan their first loss of the season. Your final score, Randolph-Macon 2 and Virginia Wesleyan 1. They'll split the doubleheader. Marlins 2-1 in the first and 8. Yellow Jackets 2-1 in the nightcap. Randolph-Macon now 31-3. And Virginia Wesleyan's winning streak dating back to the 2017 Division III College World Series is over. They are now 35-1. Maddie Rhodes, the freshman from Nansemond River, 9 strikeouts, gives up a run in the first inning and nothing the rest of the way. And the Yellow Jackets of Randolph-Macon come back to Ashland, just like they did opening day, up by 64 with a split over a big state rival. They split with CNU opening day 2 months ago. It started a 20-game winning streak, that nightcap win. The Yellow Jackets here tonight get the nightcap win. 2-1 the final. How will that catapult them for the rest of the regular season? The make goods they have to take care of, and then the ODAC tournament looming very, very soon. Marlins, they have nothing to worry about. If anything, there's a pressure of being undefeated that is no longer on their shoulder. They don't have to quietly not talk about that anymore, and they can go about their business of going to try to repeat A as ODAC champions and then B as NCAA champions. This Game 2 result changes nothing for Virginia Wesleyan and what their ultimate goals are here in 2018. What a great afternoon of softball that we have enjoyed here, fans, and we are so glad we've been able to bring it to you live on the RBA Sports Network. 2-1 in 8 innings, Game 1 to the Marlins, 2-1 in the nightcap. The winner, the Yellow Jackets of Randolph-Macon. Well, again, thanks to everybody here at Virginia Wesleyan University for their hospitality, for helping us make this happen. We appreciate it so much. Thanks to Taylor and the gang at Randolph-Macon for all the information and for helping us out here this afternoon as well, bringing you this very special game of the week, ODAC softball doubleheader. So 2-1 in both games. Marlins take Game 1. Yellow Jackets take Game 2. Game of the week broadcast from the RBA Sports Network. And we're so glad you've been with us here on this Wednesday afternoon. Today's broadcast, an exclusive presentation of the RBA Sports Network, solely intended for the Private non-commercial use of our audience, any rebroadcast or other use of today's doubleheader without the express written consent of HCS Media LLC, strictly prohibited. We're back on the air Friday morning, 9:30 on ESPN Richmond for RBA Locals Only. Next game of the week, April 27th, at Lee Davis softball at 7 Eastern on our YouTube channel. Rob with them saying, have a good night, everybody. Good night from Virginia Beach, Virginia.